Welcome to Coach Hayes Football Live. He can talk about anything from high school to the pros. This guy knows the game, so you better not be half-stepping.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is going to agree with me before they agree with you.
Strap in, because Coach Hayes is about to
crack your cranium and fertilize your brain. Go ahead and right here, right now.
Subscribe now and check out CoachHayesFootball.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Coach Hayes Football, the Coach Me Coach podcast. This is Primetime Talk, where we typically talk about Colorado Buffaloes, but today we're going to change it up just a little bit. We're still going to talk about the Colorado Buffaloes, but we're going to talk about a little bit Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. As the title says, Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland, time to request a trade. As you saw in the thumbnail, I said it is time for Shedeur Sanders to request a trade. We definitely going to open up the phone lines. You guys can call in. Let me know your thoughts on this deal. Let me know your thoughts on Colorado as well and some other stuff. But before I get started, let me do a quick little roll call. Brother Jay Blaze in the building. Hey, what that fantasy looking like, Brother Jay? Huh? Keep looking in your rearview mirror, Coach. Coach coming for you. Kenneth Tongue. Well, I'll be damned. I'm first. Yeah, man. You know, it is what it is. Also, Brother Jay with that logo up there. You see, Friday night, 2 days, 22 hours, 24 minutes, and 18, 17, 16 seconds for the Louisville Cardinals get split. Yeah, you're going to need some help, man. I know what you're talking about, that doggone fantasy league. But we're going to work you out real quick, real easy. All right. Let me just talk about a couple of things. First of all, rest in peace to D'Angelo, R&B singer, passed away from pancreatic cancer. That's so unfortunate for all my men out there, you know, and women. But go ahead and get checked. One thing about pancreatic cancer, I will say this, had some family members that dealt with it. If you catch it early, you can survive it. I will just tell you that. If you wait around and, I don't want to go to the doctor, man, go to the doctor, drop them draws, and let them check you out. That's the best way I can tell you, because you don't listen to people that talk reason. You know, go to the doctor. No, drop them and let the doctor do his thing. Trust me, you ain't the first one he done seen. He ain't the last one. So do what you got to do to stay healthy, stay here, and keep pushing. All right. Also, I didn't know this, but I learned this today, that he had a child with Angie Stone, who passed away tragically from a car accident. I'm not sure, I guess a couple years ago. And so they have a son. And so prayers out to the son, to that family. I also didn't know this. There's a big song from Black Men United. You will know. You heard it. It was a collaboration with a bunch of artists, Gerald Levert, Usher, Tevin Campbell, so forth. D'Angelo actually wrote that song, or I think he was co-writer and producer on that song as a teenager. So that's huge. And unfortunately, man, when people pass, you learn a lot more about them than when they were alive. Talking about giving out flowers. We got to give our flowers to people that are here and living and talk about it. And one thing, a podcast called Drink Champs, if you haven't watched it, with Noriega, or Nori, they call them, and DJ EFN is called Drink Champs. They give flowers to people now. So I think that's very good. That's actually a very good podcast. I watch it all the time because it's very informative. You learn a lot of things about the music industry, the entertainment industry, things that you didn't even know, how things happen, how songs were created, how groups were formed, and so forth and so on. I'm not, them boys big time. I only do a commercial for them, but just shout out to those guys. DJ Dell. All right, DJ Dell, how you doing? I think this is my first time seeing you leave a comment, so I appreciate that. Checking in. Thank you for that. Also, hopefully you can call in. We'd love to get a woman's perspective here on this channel as well. Yeah, that did escalate quickly. Brother Jay Blaze, gotta go get it checked out. All right, and Colorado fans, what they do. DC Carson, what's up, Coach Hayes in chat? I would definitely want to hear from you, DC, if you call in today. I would love to hear your point of view on the Shedeur situation. Really quickly as well, I want to talk about this. The coaching carousel is spinning. And right now, there are currently 7, we'll call it major university openings right now. As we know, Penn State just fired Coach James Franklin. He's been there 12 years, turn that program around. took it over very shortly after the whole Sandusky scandal. Bill O'Brien took it over for 2 years, and then James Franklin has been there ever since. And he got canned. He lost the game to Oregon. I think most people can understand that. But then he lost the game to UCLA, who was another team that fired their coach in Deshaun Foster. And then he lost the game. I can't even remember the name of the team. Oh, Northwestern. He lost the game to Northwestern, right? And so he ends up getting fired. Speaking of UCLA, they fired Deshaun Foster, as we know. Oklahoma State has fired Mike Gundy. Oregon State has fired Trent Bray. Virginia Tech has fired Brent Pry. UAB has fired Trent Dilfer. And Arkansas has fired Sam Pittman. Trust me, more are coming. And we'll do shows about that later. But this is what happens this time of year. Coaches catching L's right now. And there's some people that's on the hot seat. Florida State, Florida. We'll see how that work out. But anyway, let me get into the topic of the day right quick. And then again, we'll talk about Colorado as well and their big win in the upset over Iowa State, number 22 ranked at that time, Iowa State. And they'll be on the bye week this week. Shedeur Sanders gets drafted. If you're living under a rock, you don't know, but he was drafted 5th round. All of these things, I think we kind of know the past and the history. He was projected as a 1st round, maybe an early 2nd, ends up dropping in the draft, right? There were some things have been coming out about, he didn't want to go to certain teams like the Baltimore Ravens. And there was a lot of media coverage in regards to after Lamar Jackson got hurt. Excuse me, I'm sorry. After Lamar Jackson got hurt, if he would have went there, he could have been playing. Okay, fair. But he ends up at the Cleveland Browns. I said that when he got drafted. Shout out to Lexus if you're out there listening. Lexus, I still love you, baby. Don't be mad at me. But I said when he first got there, I wish he'd get out of there. I don't care how you get out of there, plane, train, or automobile. LMV, what's up, baby? Amanda, how you doing? So again, I don't care how he gets out of there, but he needed to get out of there. I think the Cleveland Browns organization is awful. I think it's terrible. I don't think people understand how bad it is. There are a lot of new faces that's following college football since the Sanders have come on the scene from Jackson State to Colorado, and now people following Shedeur over to Cleveland. And I don't think a lot of people really understand how bad of an organization, not just a team, not even a program, an organization as a business they are in the way in which they do things. Now, here's what I will say. Jimmy Haslam's the owner. It's his business. He runs it how he chooses. And as bad as they are, like I've said before, they made $700 million last year, just as bad as they are. As bad as they were, they made $700 million. Some people could I don't call that a failure, but it is what it is. And I want to kind of go down this timeline chronologically and let people kind of understand if you don't know, and then I'll get into my spiel. So Shedeur gets drafted 5th round behind Dillon Gabriel. They bring in Joey Flacco. They bring in Kenny Pickett. They also bring in a guy named Tyler Huntley when there were some hamstring issues. Shedeur has always kind of been at the bottom rung of the ladder in regards to depth chart. They end up trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders. Everybody, we can move this up. They end up just recently trading Joe Flacco to the Bengals. Now, with that trade came some question marks. Mike Tomlin, they just played the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin apparently said some things about, I don't know why you trade him. And here's the deal. I don't even know if that was AI or not, but that's what it was out. That's what's out there. And they were saying, I don't see how you could trade a guy to a rival team within the same conference as you that have problems at quarterback. That was your starter for the season. And I want to make sure I lay this out so you guys really understand where I'm going with this. So Joe Flacco was the starter for the Browns for the season. comes in. He's going to be the number one guy. Everybody had him shoot in. He's the vet, played there before, yada, yada, yada. So they end up trading him. Dillon Gabriel takes over. When he gets ready to take over, a simple question was asked. Who's number two? Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, comes out, kind of dances around it. Well, that trade happened fast. Didn't really know about it. Dance. And doesn't initially name Shedeur the starter. I don't even remember when Zappe came to the Cleveland Browns. I don't even know when he got there because they got rid of Tyler Huntley and so forth. Speaking of Tyler Huntley, he ended up playing in the Ravens game behind Cooper Rush. But anyway, now we're going into week 7 of this season. They're getting ready to play the Dolphins. Dolphins is not a very good football team. It's not a very good football team. And people are saying they need to start Shedeur. I don't believe they're going to start Shedeur against the Dolphins because Dillon Gabriel will have opportunity to possibly win a football game against my beloved Miami Dolphins. And I believe right now, I guess my biggest beef, and I know everybody, Shedeur need to play. Here's my problem. And I don't know if Jimmy Haslam, the owner, and Andrew Berry, the GM, and Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, and who drafted who and who likes this and this. And I'm not getting into that. But what I do know is he's on the team. And if he's on the team, what's the plan? And this is where the biggest problem lies for me, especially being a coach. What's the plan for the guy? What's the plan? There's no sure information. Here's why we're rolling. This is what's going on. Everything's hush, hush, hush. And I don't mind as a devil's workshop. So my problem that I'm really having is, where does Shedeur Sanders fit in this scheme? At one point, like I say, Zappe comes and you don't know. A guy that's on the inactive roster could potentially jump over a guy that's been there, that was drafted there. And as a player, you want to play. But as a player, you can also understand development. But the thing is, I need to know the plan. If I understand the plan and I understand what I'm supposed to be doing, then therefore I understand my role. Regardless if you think he's better than Shedeur or whatever, or Shedeur thinks he's better than, if Shedeur thinks he's better than Dillon Gabriel, whatever. That's neither here nor there. What the thing is what's the plan? And I just clearly can't see a plan. The only plan I know is that they don't have a plan. I think Shedeur is a product to them. He's a side piece. He is how do I say it? Like a sideshow, like at the circus, the bearded lady, right? The old baby or whatever it is. However, what is the plan? And if there is no plan, this is why I'm saying Shedeur need to ask for a trade. And just be bold about it. But it doesn't have to be a public trade. I'm going to say this. Let me go back and say this. It doesn't have to be a public spectacle. And he may have done this already. I don't know, but he may have, but I doubt it. But go in and just say, listen, I want to go where I'm appreciated and not tolerated. And I think that's any player. I don't care if you're the 5th string dude. If you can appreciate what I can bring to this team, even as a 5th stringer, then I'll play my role. But don't dangle me around like a carrot or like a side piece. And there's I think the problem lies for Shedeur. Now, here's the issue with the trade. And I said this earlier about distractions. And people don't want to hear this, and people get mad, and coach you a hater, and whatever. Unfortunately, due to Shedeur Sanders' status, family, and all the things that go with that, he does become a distraction. It's not his fault, but that's just what it is. Everybody's saying, why do we care this much about a 5th round draft pick? Because he's a famous, polarizing, his family's polarizing 5th round draft pick. He's not a regular 5th round draft pick. I don't know why people are like dumbfounded. Like, why do we spend this kind of energy on a 5th round draft pick? I made this parallel before, and y'all follow me. I might be off a little bit, but remember when Prince Harry went to the military over there in the UK and all the media following him? That would be the same thing as people saying, why people want to follow this new dude that just enlisted? Because he Prince doggone Harry. It's just that simple. It's Prince Harry. This is Shedeur Sanders. His father is Dillon Sanders. Part of this was created in this whole fireworks because how his father created the culture at Jackson State in Colorado and all of those things, and that followed along. The Colorado fan base, or the new CUs, or whatever you want to call them, cult members, whatever. And so I say all that to say this is that's what you're going to get. Now, Terry Bradshaw came out. I believe I have a picture of this. And this is the exact feeling in my eyes. Thought I had it pulled up. Terry Bradshaw came out and said, where's the picture of it? Here we go. No, the picture I clicked on. Gosh, dagnabbit. Anyway, Terry Bradshaw comes out and he says, why can't I find it? Come on, Hayes, you got to tighten up on the production. Somebody getting fired. Here we go. Terry Bradshaw comes out and he says this. That didn't work. That ain't nice. What is going on? Here we go. Why is the 5th rounder getting all this attention? I wouldn't have taken Shedeur. Let somebody else have that problem. And that right there is a big statement. Because that right there is why I believe that 32 teams passed on him 5 times. Listen to what he just said. And Terry Bradshaw's an old school dude. And I want y'all to remember this. Who are the owners? Old school dudes. I'm going to leave it like that. Right? They all have the same mindset. Why is the 5th rounder getting all this attention? Well, I just explained that. I wouldn't have taken Shedeur. That was his quote. Let somebody else have that problem. So he's acknowledging by saying have that problem, meaning all the things that come with this young man. And I have to say this. This is nothing. This is not Shedeur's problem. I'm not saying that he's that problem. But what I am saying is that that's the distraction piece. That NFL teams, and I said this at the beginning, you're a hater. And shout out to Lil Bucket. He bet me that Shedeur would be starting by the 7th game of the season. Well, I got 3 days or 4 days before somebody lose an eyebrow. Whether it's me or him, we bet an eyebrow. Got to shave it off live. I ain't seen Lil Bucket in 2 months, so he might be in Cleveland lobbying for Shedeur to start. But anyhow, That bet that I made, I've said this before, had nothing to do with Shedeur's talent more than it had to do with the Cleveland Browns being Cleveland Brown. They're going to do stupid stuff because they're Cleveland. But back to the Terry Bradshaw comment, if he does put in this statement, puts in a trade or wants a trade, the question now becomes, who wants him? Where would he go? Do they feel that if he comes to our team, Team X, for lack of a better term, will the circus follow? Because now it's as if he's a problem. And unfortunately for this young man, he is not a problem. The most I think Shedeur's ever done was speed. Okay, you got me. Slap my wrist. So that's the issue with the trade. Because again, 32 teams passed up on him 5 times. He went, 144th? So there were 143 people picked before him. Now, I don't know what Andrew Berry has to do with this or whatever the case may be, but Shedeur, if you're listening or anybody want to do this, I actually took the liberty of writing your letter for a trade request. Y'all want to hear it? Here it goes. Dear Andrew Berry, I hope this message finds you well. After careful consideration and discussions with my representatives, I'm formally requesting to be traded from the Cleveland Browns organization. Since joining the team, I have remained committed to my development and to the contribution in any way possible. However, it has become increasingly clear that the franchise does not currently have plans to provide me with meaningful opportunities for growth or playing time. I fully respect the direction and priorities of the organization, but I also believe that at this stage in my career, it is in both my best interest and the team's interest for me to continue my development elsewhere. My goal is to play for a franchise that is committed to cultivating my potential as a quarterback and allowing me the opportunity to compete and contribute on the field. I am confident that a trade can be made that benefits both parties and allows the Browns to gain valuable assets while allowing me to pursue a situation aligned with my long-term professional goals. I want to express my gratitude to the Browns organization, the coaching staff, and my teammates for their support and professionalism. This request comes from a place of respect and ambition, not frustration. I simply wish to continue growing as a player in an environment that aligns with my development goals. Thank you for your understanding and consideration. I trust that we can handle this matter with mutual respect and discretion. Respectfully, Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Cleveland Browns. So, Shedeur, I get that to you for free. I email it to you, or you can write it down word for word. I don't care. But if it's me at this point, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Because at this point, what do you have left to do, to offer? They don't want you there. They don't want to give you an opportunity. And again, I am not talking clearly about playing time. I'm talking about development, the opportunity to be developed, the opportunity to showcase your talents, the opportunity to become an NFL quarterback. That's it. Do I think Shedeur Sanders should be playing right now? Probably not. And that's okay. But the reason he hasn't been playing now in week 6, because the Cleveland Browns have literally 9 quarterbacks. Let's name them. We're talking about since Shedeur's been drafted. Deshaun Watson, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, Tyler Huntley, Zappy. Who else been there? And Shedeur. That's 7 quarterbacks. Am I missing somebody? That's 7 quarterbacks since April, bro. 7 quarterbacks have been through that locker room since April. I'll get to the comments. I see you, Happy Days. I definitely I want you to call in. I said Tyler Huntley. So I say all that to say, do your thing, bro. Like, do your thing. I think the biggest concern is what's the plan? What is the plan for you? What is the plan for him, rather? And that's something that has not been discussed or divulged. I don't even think he knows, because I watched a clip of Shiloh, and I have to say this. Shout out to Shedeur, man, the Sanders family. Them boys, man. Them boys have a good time. Here was a clip of Shiloh going to the game, with the Steelers game, and acting like he was Shedeur. But the funniest clip is at the end when he's there talking to him. And the reason I questioned the development, because when I saw this clip, that's what really, I wasn't going to talk about this today until I saw this clip. Because Shedeur is like, well, I thought I was going to get in. Well, I was warming up because I was ready to. And in my mind, I'm saying this kid doesn't know. He's walking blind. He's walking blind through this process, and that's unfair to any player. Forget if it's Shedeur Sanders. Like I said, the 5th string dude should know his role. Listen to this exchange. But look at Shedeur's face, man. Just finished the game, and he chilling.
In case I get in, like. All right, so how about this? All right, what if Coach Stefanski said, if you and Dad sit next to each other for the whole game, then Shedeur can start? Would you do it or no?
Honey, you'll never get in.
Oh my gosh. Now we gotta ask Dad. My brother. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
I'm Shiloh.
That's neither here nor there. But prior to this clip, Shedeur was talking about he thought he was going to get in and play. And then his mom was cleaning her glasses off thinking he was going to get in. Like, that's the part that's crazy. It's just crazy. That's crazy to me. And so I go back and blame the Cleveland Browns. As I said before, they are a terrible organization. There's no rhyme or reason to what they do. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I think they're using him as a pawn in their game. It's just bad work. To me, it's bad work. 862-799-9956. Let me know your thoughts on that. And I'm going to talk about Colorado here as the queue builds up. Colorado did take on Iowa State. End up beating a 22-ranked Iowa State. I think they did an excellent job. They ran the ball. They threw the ball. Caden Salter was in his bag. I did a good, bad, and ugly review on it. Go check that out as well. You get a breakdown of the plays. This was the show I was actually going to do. Is the bye week going to help or hurt Colorado? So I'm kind of doing 2 shows in one. They need it because they haven't had one yet. True. But the bye week, does it hurt them? What do I mean? The momentum of what they're going on, right? How they feel with the momentum of not playing so well early, coming into this week as clearly the underdog, everybody, I won't say everybody, because some people thought they were going to win, which I already said they 12-0. But however, the bye week, does it kind of stifle the momentum some? But they do need it because their bodies need to heal. But I'm just saying the timing of it. And so I think they ran the ball well. I think Coach Pat Shermer did a good job calling plays. They look better as a team. I have to say that. They look better as a team. Is it world beater? No, not at all. It's not world beater at all. However, they look way better than they did. Defensively, they still got some things. They gave up 450 yards, I think. Still a lot of yards. The good thing is they hunkered down in the red zone and didn't allow Iowa State to score. They just got to keep that momentum going. They're going to come back and play Utah. I think Utah is ranked 23 right now. We'll see how that goes and see how that carries over. So really, that's another question. How do we think the bye week will work? Will it work in favor for Colorado, or do you think it would kind of hurt them and kind of kill the momentum? I just want to hear from you guys' point of view. We've got a couple of people in here. I will say this early because I'm very bad at this, and I got to get better. As people call in, the more people call in, I got to start sticking to the 2 minutes as they call in. I know it may seem unfair, but right now we just got 2 on the line, so we could talk a little bit. But as more people come in, I got to stick to the 2 minute rule, if you don't mind. 106 people in the building. Hit the like, share, subscribe button. Let's get this thing rolling. All right. Let's take our first call. Andrew's biting. I see happy somebody in here. I got to tear his head off a little bit. Let's see. Let me catch one of his comments right quick before I get to the phone line. Your false concern is nauseating. Okay. I don't know why you think it's false concern. I've always had this concern, but that's how you feel. So be it. So be it. Please call in. Why you believe Terry and not Eric Dickerson? Please explain that. I know Eric Dickerson has something to say. I didn't say I did believe Terry. I said I believe that's how the owners think. Maybe that if you were talking to me, I'm not really sure. But I would feel great if you call in. Happy days. I need to get in the kitchen anyway. I ain't cooked no work in a minute. Anyway, let me take this first call in the building. 9171. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name. Where you calling from?
What's going on, Coach Hayes? It's DC. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm good. DC, man. Appreciate you calling in, brother. I know we're about to have a good football conversation. Talk to us, man. What's your thoughts on what I had to say?
All right. So as far as Shedeur, I'm going to keep it a buck. You chose this, Shedeur. You chose this decision when we found out that the Ravens and the Eagles offered to take him. And I understand betting on yourself, saying franchise QB and stuff like that. But at the end of the day is somewhere in there, somebody should be saying by round 3, none of these teams are looking at you as a franchise QB. So we're going to have to, that's what a good agent would have done. It would have said, instead of us trying to find this place where we're going to go and shine right now, maybe we need to be looking for a spot where we can go and be developed. And then maybe, hey, this might be your time to get in. Let's say if Eagles or stuff, they're already ahead, they've clinched, you get to get in, you get to get some film, you get to see how good an organization is. But you chose this mess that already had like 5 QBs sitting off in the room, and they're still paying Jameis Winston. So right now, if you can say request a trade, but what people are saying, it does come into that point where you're going, all right, if you still have the franchise mindset this year, then you're going to fail again. You have to make a decision. If I'm going to go, it's probably going to be a place where I sit. That's kind of how I see it.
Okay, well, DC, two questions I have, and I'm gonna go with what you just said first. I think that's okay. Like I said, I'm not mad that he's not playing. What I'm upset about is there's not a plan, right? There's not a plan. See, people are thinking about playing. I'm not really thinking about playing. I'm thinking about a plan. That's one. And go backwards. I know we talk a lot. There's a lot of talk about the Ravens and the Eagles. Let me ask you a question because I'm not very clear. Hopefully, you can educate me. When was this conversation had with Ozzie Newsome and these guys about don't take me to Baltimore? Was it prior to the draft? Was it during the draft? Was it at what? Like, talk to me. Do you know? Because I don't.
It's my understanding that it was during the draft.
Okay.
And he said that, and please chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding it was during the chat. But here go the thing, Coach Hayes. I get what you're saying as far as the Browns having a plan. But when you have Flacco, Pickett, Dillon was already ahead of you, you got Watson on the roster, and you have Dillon, where were the reps going to come from?
Well,
That to me sits back and says, hey, if I don't have the reps, even though what kind of plan can they have for me when I got 5 QBs, there's 4 QBs, there's 4 plus me.
fair. But I want to go back to the draft conversation first. So if nobody really has a timeline, here's what I will say to this. I understand why you may not want to go behind a Lamar, right? Or Jalen Hurts. Here's why I say this. Hindsight is 2020, as we all know, DC. The only reason this conversation came up about the Ravens is because Lamar got hurt. This is it. If Lamar didn't get tweaked to hammy and get hurt, nobody would have been talking about that. That's first. Second is, I'm not saying they made a right decision, but I understand the decision. Second is, if you are Shedeur, or your dad, or whoever the case may be, I'm not mad that you want to compete for a spot. Now, I'm not talking about Cleveland. We're talking about maybe if it was the Saints or a couple other programs. But I think there was a gross miscalculation in what the Sanders family did with Shedeur. Now, that I agree with. I think also some previous statements hurt him. All that kind of stuff hurt him. And even Coach Prime, last statement when they asked him about it, I don't give a darn about no Browns. That didn't help either. That's another kick in the behind as well, right? I mean, but whatever. I'm not here to nitpick. I'm just saying that's another thing. I get where you're going, and I think I definitely understand DC. But it also wasn't I don't know, because everybody's speculating that, the Browns supposed to pick me up. Maybe that was out of desperation because now we're in the 5th round. And now we're going to the 6th round, the 7th round, whatever. And I'll go back to this, DC. Even if you said, where is the development or the plan because they're 4th? Okay, I get that. But you got rid of Pickett. That knocked you down to 3 quarterbacks. Right? Even when Joey Flacco was happening, Kevin Stefanski could say all he wants to say about all that was quick. Man, whatever. You are the head coach, bro. And if you are not privy to those kind of conversations as the head coach of a football team in the NFL, then you're not the head coach. You're just a dude out there with a headset on. If you are not privy to the conversations about quarterbacks, and ain't he a quarterback dude, DC?
Supposedly.
Okay. You're the quarterback guy. You ain't a defensive minded guy. You're a quarterback coach, and you are not privy to the conversations that are happening about your starter, Joe Flacco, which I know they benched him, and you walk into a press conference, it just happened real quick. Man, coach, speak me to whatever. You can tell that to the masses, but you can't tell that you can't fool a magician that knows the magic tricks. That's like me trying to go fool David Copperfield or Chris Angel about the quarter behind your ear. You can't fool. You can fool those people on the street, but you can't fool people that know. And here's the second part. If you didn't know, then, sir, you're not the head coach of that football program. You have no power. None. Does that make sense? Am I speaking crazy, DC, or what?
No, I think that makes perfect sense. Obviously, for people to be discussing things publicly, like what Coach Tomlin said. You got all this stuff going on. Jimmy Haslam said, if you would have asked me Friday night, like
Come
people
on.
are telling on themselves.
Right.
They're telling on themselves. And it's kind of like I'm sitting up here going, I'm a huge fan of leadership and organizational development. I'm sitting up here going, like when people sit back and say, DC, you just hating on Shedeur. I was like, no, man, I've seen organizations that work. And there's one thing, if there's two things that will tear your organization up. If your leadership is not on one page and you got too many distractions, it's not going to be a good thing. And I keep telling folks as as people say, well, Shedeur put them in. Browns don't have any weapons.
Right.
So you have to look at this thing and understand is that what you are used to seeing at JSU and what you saw at Colorado, and you really only saw it 1 year. And if you unpack it, you might have some questions like people that watch football. Now you're in a situation where you don't really have. So like people, first of all, let me just say this. Folks that's dogging DG and throwing this shade, y'all wrong, man.
That's crazy.
I'm pulling an OG football card on you. Is that at the end of the day is you're not paying attention to it. This man got sacked 6 times, 16 times he was hit. You can't throw down the field when you get knocked around. So it is. And then when the ball is hitting Fannin and Judy and right in their hands and they're dropping it, you are toast. You're not going to win. That's it. They don't have the weapons. Judkins is coming along. Think about it. You had Isaiah Bond. He didn't have a rookie. He didn't have a rookie camp, nor did he have a training camp. So he's still probably learning the playbook. Judy just not out there. Fannin, I think he's doing good. But the point being is that it was the perfect storm for failure. And that's what I think people have to sit back and woo-saw and go, okay, I like Shedeur. Let me stop tripping on DG because at the end of the day is making the NFL is a good thing. And he's just going with what he got. But at the end of the day is there's too much turmoil going on in what they call the head shed. No Diddy, but you know what I mean?
I never heard that.
The top where people are talking, and it seems like you have a Haslam Berry Stefanski battle going on, and everybody's just kind of going, all right. So because at the end of the day is, I'm gonna ask you this, Coach, is that even if the odds are against Dillon, and it's not just because he may have some limitations. It's to a point. You got to have realistic expectations of a rookie, as well as there's no weapon. When do you sit him? And then if you sit him, what do you do to his confidence?
Well, here's the deal. He's only been in 2 games.
Right.
Am I right? He only played 2 games so far. Am I right?
Started, yes.
Started. No, I'm saying started. Started.
Yes.
Here's my second thing. And Coach T brings this up. Dillon Gabriel had 5 drops, hit 2 people in the head with the ball. Browns receivers awful. Listen, when have hitting a receiver in the head with the ball not as accurate as you could damn be? And there people are literally faulting Dillon Gabriel for hitting the receiver in the head with the ball. You can't get no more accurate than that, bro.
Man.
No, but I'm saying people listen to that. That's crazy. Dog, that is now if you flip the roles, and I understand people are fans, but again, that's why I say you got a lot of new fans or people that are grifting. But I'm not gonna get into that. If it was the other way around and number 2 hit a dude in the head with the ball, they would be blaming the receiver. Now they're blaming the quarterback for hitting the dude, throwing the ball and hitting the receiver in the face mask with the ball. I've never heard anybody get ridiculed for hitting the dude in the face with the ball.
Where's the quarterback taught to throw the ball?
God damn, bro, that's like trying to, dog, ain't no catch radius. I mean, it's literally, when they say keep your eyes on the ball, you ain't got no choice. You can hit you right. Anyway, I'm saying all these things, right. DC. I'm saying all these things, DC, because I'm going to get to the other callers. But what I'm not understanding, in this happy days, dude, I hope you get out your mama basement and call in. See, false concern. That's not false concern. I'm here to talk football. And I'm talking about the whole thing where, Dillon Gabriel got sacked. He got chased down from behind. Bro, that's the quarterback fault that he was in the pocket and the dude, like, you just say he got sacked 6 times. I'm not saying that's great. But to your point, DC, they're not a very good team. We literally just saw Cam Ward, the number 1 draft pick, his coach just got fired because they're not good.
Right. Here's the thing, Coach. I think people, when they watch the game, because Harry B and I have had a conversation about dink and dunk, and I was like, hey, the average was the ADP. The average one is around 8 yards. And here's the thing I was saying, people get fooled by Shedeur because it's like, well, he can throw these deep balls. And said, no. What y'all missing is bro will drop back 10, 15 yards and throw it. And so when it looks like it's a 25-yard pass, but it only went 5 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Right.
So you get fooled into thinking that it's all these big old and then the other thing is because he had weapons. And that's the thing I think folks have to realize is that you can talk about all these strategies like, hey, cheat up, Dillon's doing the check down, even though a lot of things, because even Michael Irvin was talking about this game has got different. He never caught a pass behind the line of scrimmage. And they're doing more of those plays right now that they basically are extended run plays.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we have to, but as far as to wrap it up, because I know you got to go, sure. I think the thing is that I think Shedeur can ask for a trade and he might get it, but he's got to be to a point. If you go in here and do this, it's got to be to a place that is going to, because right now, the only, like folks saying, well, the Jets are calling for him. That's not the answer either. Mm-mm. The Jets are not the answer. So you don't want to, or let's say, well, he can go to Miami. You can go from the skillet
to the frying pan.
From the
frying pan to the skillet.
Absolutely. Exactly. So I think that's where he's got to balance out right now.
Well, here's the deal. The reason I brought this up about the trade, and I'll just say this, and I got to push on, but the reason I brought it up was, and I'm not saying this has to be a public spectacle. I'm just simply saying a conversation between the GM and the owner or whatever. Because right now I'm wasting my time. If there's no plan for me, and I clearly can read between the lines and see that there's no plan, when the kid himself is saying, man, I was warmed up because I thought I was finna get in. There's no plan for you, bro. Usually you talk to your quarterbacks, hey guys, listen, if we up by this, we're gonna look to try to maybe get you in here. If we down by such and such, depending on how to flow the game, blah, blah, blah. I just feel bad for him. I've always said I think Shedeur Sanders can knock the wings off a fly with a football. Are the things he need to work on? Most definitely, as any and every quarterback. However, when I look at this, I just never liked the Cleveland Brown organization. I thought it was a bad move by them drafting him. It's not his fault. You have to go where they draft you. But
I agree.
But I knew this was going to be a catastrophic failure from when they called his name at 144. Because they literally shown it. 40 quarterbacks in the last, 20 years? 18 years, 15 years? Why do we think number 2 is going to be treated any differently? Just somebody explain, somebody please, in their ever-loving mind, explain to me, why do they think because he is Deion Sanders' son, they're going to change their operational schedule? They're going to change their MO.
Coach Hay, I want to know this is that we keep throwing this Unitas Award out there, and the Browns have had more Unitas Awards winners in Heisman than almost anybody on QB.
Bro, can I tell you three of the dudes? I'm sorry, 3 of the dudes that was on there with him was a Johnny Unitas winner. What are we talking about?
Right.
Kenny Pickett won a Johnny Unitas Award. Kenny Pickett won a Johnny Unitas Award. Deshaun Watson won a Johnny Unitas Award, and doggone Shedeur Sanders. What are we talking about? See, that's people that don't know no better. Google it, bro. Look, the keyboard is free. Google it. Anyway, go ahead, DC. Finish your last line. Hey, let me get out of here.
I just think, I just think folks are you got too many people out in this universe right now. I call it the C universe that are making content and not talking ball. And what it does, it confuses those that may have little knowledge or they were gone and came back, and then the aunties and they're hearing it and they're like, "Well, I trust you," versus saying, "No, yes, it's great to have those awards are nice, but when you look back and see it, a lot of them were did not pan out." Still keep asking folks to go back and look at Max Duggar that was at TCU and is playing in the UFL. He won it. The thing I would wrap up to say that I don't know what to do, bro. This is the mess. It's about to get cold. It gets windy in Cleveland. It's not the most comfortable time, and I think sticking Shedeur out there with a team that that's already lost the clubhouse, and that's probably like, man, forget all this. That he might not be able to rally them, and now he's going to be fighting with a team, trying to fight for a position with a bunch of folks that have already quit and trying to, make them business decisions where I'm not about to break myself, and we're not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for him because that's not a good spot to be in. And
100%.
I appreciate you letting me on your show, brother.
Anytime, DC. Appreciate you, brother. Real quick, I just want to say this. Deshaun Watson, 2016, Giant United's award winner. Same team at the very same time. Kenny Pickett. Y'all call him small hand Kenny Pickett. A Bros Award winner. I'm sorry, not Bros Award. Johnny United's award winner at Pitt. And then Shedeur Sanders. All three of them on the same time. So, I mean, whatever. Appreciate the call, man. Let me get to the next call up here. 79.99. No, I'm sorry. 97.99. Call or talk to us. Give us your name. Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach?
What's up? Who we talking to?
This is Mo, man, calling from Alabama.
Oh, Mo. Hold up, Mo. We got to slap your
What's
face.
going on?
Mo.
Okay.
You know why I slapped your face? Because you trash when you 1-6 in the doggone fantasy league right now.
Man, I'm getting cooked, man.
You
cooked,
trash. Man. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Talk to us, Mo.
Man, let's keep it real. I mean, this is some sad stuff that's going on, but it's real, man, and it happens in all walks of life and all different types of careers, man. I'm gonna take the filter off, man. Them white folks ain't gonna let that black boy, and I want us to use another word, they're not gonna let him come through with his type of aura and all that. They had a point to prove, man. And it's one thing for us to sit back and say, well, Prime and all that, man. Look, man, I grew up looking up to Prime. That's one of the reasons I'm a Florida State fan. I grew up looking up to Prime, man, but that wouldn't have worked. That Prime time character wouldn't have worked at quarterback. Correct. They wouldn't have allowed it.
Correct.
So we gotta think. Quarterback is what they look at, or not they. A quarterback is considered like the CEO of the team.
Mm-hmm.
You the head. Besides the real man up top, besides the GM and all that, you are the head. You the captain of the ship. White folks still ain't got to the point where they ready to look at all this as captain of the ship material. They just got to be honest, man. It's just now started to be a thing within the last 10 years of really black quarterbacks being drafted like that. You older than me, you know that Warren Moon had to go the long route. And we can go over countless and countless of other people. I don't feel like the Sanders family helped their cause, but he didn't do anything. Man, I remember the first time that happened. I remember when Eli Manning refused to go to the Chargers back then in the San Diego Chargers.
Right.
That's how Phillip Rivers ended up going to San Diego, because I believe the Giants and the Chargers made a trade like that.
Mm-hmm.
They refused. That family said that Eli wasn't going to San Diego to that organization.
Okay.
Now, when Deion made that statement about his son, was it received the same way? Hey, Shedeur has a brash personality. Some people look at it as arrogant. I just say it's confident the boy can ball. When Johnny Manziel was coming out of college with less than half of Shedeur's ability, It was praised by the white people, but by all people. I like gentlemen. It's fun to me, man. He's a wild boy, but they look at him as they praise that man.
So real quick, Mo, not to go down this, and I get where you're coming from. Here's what I want to say to what you're saying. I agree. You know this. I know this. I don't know how many of the callers know this. Do you think Coach Prime and the Sanders family and Shedeur know this rule?
Do I think they know it?
Yeah, because you know. Okay, here it is. Let's call a spade a space. And you say you want to open this door. Let's talk. And on this channel, we can talk. You know, and I know the scoreboard may say 0-0, but it's really 21-0. Let's call a spade a spade. Is that fair to say?
Yep.
Okay, so if you know this, and I know this, why or what would make Coach Prime think that the scoreboard is really 0-0, where you think you can do, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but it is what it is. What would make you think? Because guess what, Mo? I don't know what you do for a living, and that's not my concern. But whatever it is you do in life, you know that you can't do the same thing as poor little Timmy. Is that fair to say?
Nope.
Is that fair?
Man, I live in Montgomery, Alabama now because of that same reason. This is my hometown. If I had a choice, I'd be in my hometown. But unfortunately, in my hometown,
we can't hardly hear you, bro. We can't hardly hear you, like your hand muffling the phone. We can't hardly hear your hand muffling the phone or something.
I said I live in Montgomery, Alabama now for that very same reason. I'm from Dothan, Alabama. I would prefer to live at home if I had it my way, but in my hometown, you don't see people that look like me and you, and a host of other callers or whatnot in the managerial position in the automobile business as I am. You don't see it look like that. Now you see some in sales, but you won't see none in a position of leadership. So I had to relocate my family to the chocolate city of Alabama, which is Montgomery, to be able to use my expertise because of that very reason.
So Mo, real quick, because I'm rushing. What I'm saying to you is, you knew the rules of the game, whether they didn't come in the manual. When you open up the Monopoly box, they didn't come on an instruction page like this, but you knew the rules to the game. All I'm asking you is if I know the rules, you know the rules. Because here, can I tell y'all something? When we want to talk about rules, I just want to call it what it is. You know why I don't curse on this channel? I ain't saying I don't curse now, but you know why I don't curse on this channel? You know why, Mo?
I'm listening. Why?
Because that's a reason for potential sponsors to say no. But a guy like Pat McAfee. Hold on, but I ain't gonna even go that far. Hold on. I know, but hold on. I ain't gonna go that far. Shout out to Coach JB, Jason Brown. He got sponsorships. He mother F this and mother F that. I can't do that because I know the unwritten rules of the game. It's just what it is. And that's okay. And you got to fight it from within. I hate to say that. Think about that. I could cut on my man JB show, and there's no knock to him. That's his channel. Do what he chooses. But he got sponsorships out the yin yang. And they mother F this and P word that and C word that and Mina Coms this. The game ain't the same. So I'm saying that I thought that Coach Prime, and I think where he made a costly mistake was he thought because of who he was, the playing field was level. And it's not.
Yep.
And that's where he made a fatal error. And the difference between Prime and Eli Manning, Prime went on a talk show tour talking about it. Eli Manning didn't do that. They went the day of the draft and said it.
And I can see them executives rubbing their hands together right now and calling each other phone call to phone call. And I tell you what, man, I'm not effing with him, and I don't think y'all should either.
Yeah.
Because that guy, you know what I'm saying, no matter how you feel about Shedeur, you know, if you call him a spade, the guy was a first round talent, no doubt. Man, him and Cam Ward.
And I don't have a problem with that. I really don't.
Yep.
But here's what I will say. Hold on. Here's what I will say. Hold on. But here's what I will say. I will say this. And shout out to Matt McChesney. Same thing with them. He on his channel. He mother of this and that's fine. That's his channel. But I also he played in the league. I'm just saying I can't do what they do. I got that. That's my point. I can't do what they do. Also, I'll say this last piece. Whether Shedeur first round talent, not a first round talent, I don't care what anybody says. The energy around Shedeur that brought all that fame and notoriety to Jackson State and Colorado also became his Achilles heel for the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. They may not want to admit it, but they literally are admitting it. They don't like that. Like everybody's saying, why are we still talking about a 5th round draft pick? Why? Because he's Shedeur Sanders. That's why you're talking about it. Why does a 5th round draft pick have brand new YouTube channels popping up about the Cleveland Browns? Why does a 5th round draft pick have Mary Kay or whatever cabinet, whatever her name is, talking about him every day? Why does a 5th round draft pick have Cleveland Brown YouTube channels that were probably doing very minimal numbers skyrocketing right now? Why does a 5th round draft pick have people buying jersey sales at record numbers? Because of who he is. That's all I'm saying. That's why people are talking about it. But with all that, that becomes a distraction because now people are not going to buy tickets to a football game and the main attraction ain't playing. Come on, Mo, you know that. Let me ask you a question. You got any kids, Mo?
Yep.
Who their favorite basketball player? LeBron, Steph Curry? Who? It don't matter. Pick one. It don't matter. Just pick some. Let's say Steph. Let's say Steph Curry. Let's just say Steph Curry. You buy tickets to the game. You take your son to go watch Steph Curry play, and he's sitting on the bench chilling. He not hurt. You didn't know he's not hurt. He just chilling because he need to rest. How many times you gonna keep buying them tickets, bro? He the main attraction. LeBron, the main attraction.
Which brings more validity of your point. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, man, we love football, but at the end of the day, the NFL is an entertainment business.
There you go.
And one thing over everything else these owners want to do is get paid. And you mean to tell me this is how you know it's not about ball? Man, when you saw that preseason game with Shedeur Sanders, and they wasn't even at home, and the whole crowd was littered with people with Shedeur jerseys on.
Yeah.
If nothing else, it would have been a profitable year in Cleveland from that standpoint of ticket sales. Whether you plan on keeping him or not.
Thank you.
He's more of a draw up there at this point than Deshaun Watson.
Thank you.
Who you're paying an outrageous guaranteed contract to. And they say not over. Well, you saw Django. Not around my N words. He ain't about to be out there like this. I don't even know who made the decision to even draft him. Mm-hmm. But again, it was a bad decision on the hand of Shedeur to put out there that he didn't want to be a backup quarterback. Yeah, I get it. You know, and then you just said, and you had a good point saying that, well, people are bringing up Baltimore now that Lamar's hurt. But guess what? The last 3-4 years, Lamar is all he goes down for 3 or 4 games. You know, Huntley has been getting plenty of playing time in Baltimore at least 3 times a year because of Lamar going down for the same hammy. He gets those injuries. So you're going to get an opportunity. But, you know, he did what he did, and he landed where he landed. But I can't see another organization doing him like this. This is almost worse than Bill Parcells, how he treated Terrell Owens in Dallas when he wouldn't even call him by his name.
Right. I'll say this, Mo, before I push on. If it was about money, I want y'all to understand this. And this is why I try to tell you, you're not going to tell these billionaires what to do with their money. All of these billionaires didn't become billionaires from their teams. They became billionaires from other business. These teams are like a hobby to them. it's a dream to own an NFL franchise, right? It's like it's only 32 of these programs. It's like a status symbol to be an owner.
It's a flex.
It's almost
It's a
like
flex.
being an owner of, I don't know, the Hayes Bugatti when they only made 5 of them, and I got one of the 5.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Right. It's a flex.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a flex, bro. Here's what I'm gonna say, and more I got to run. The Cleveland Browns right now are 1-5. If it was about money, and like you said, the preseason game when Shedeur started, if it was all about money, I would rather go 1-5 with Shedeur Sanders at the helm and make a boatload of money on losing than not.
Man.
It's not about money. Like when all these fans, he sells tickets. You're right, but he ain't playing. How many of y'all keep telling me he sell tickets, had bought a Cleveland Browns ticket? None of y'all. So cut it out until you find out he was playing. Now, when he starts playing, you'll buy it. But if I'm gonna go 1-5 mode, I'm gonna go 1-5 with 2 at the helm or 12 at the helm and make a boatload of money and still lose out. But that's just me. But anyway, talk to us more. Give us your last line. Let me get
all out there. Listen to all out there. I'm about to get this. Let's get in. But listen, man. These folks really don't rock with you like that, especially if you are really brash or outspoken or what they call flashy. And them folks don't, man. Them folks put it out there on you for real. Like, nah, we don't want him part of this, man. They don't like all that, man. They don't like that at all.
No.
So it is what it is, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Mo, I appreciate you. Keep losing. Hey, keep losing at the fantasy. And do me one more favor. Keep losing as a Florida State fan. My man, I appreciate you. Lady dog, I got to go. Garbage. Florida State trash. But I'll say this. We know that Johnny Manziel can't play that game. I'm going to throw a name from way back. Well, that's his name. Baker Mayfield. Huh? Baker Mayfield shows passion. He's tough. But if it's Shedeur, he's arrogant. He's ghetto. I'm going to throw this name from way back. Broadway Joe. You remember Broadway Joe? Let me pull up a Broadway. Y'all, some of y'all don't know this. Yeah, y'all talking about y'all new football fan. Hold up. I'm going to show you some real gangster. You want to talk about this? Broadway Joe. I'm finna help you out. I'm going to really help you out. Let me see if I can make this happen. Get this crap off of here. Y'all don't know who Broadway Joe is. Let me show you who Broadway Joe is. I'm trying to find a color picture of this thing. Here we go. Broadway Joe. Imagine if you saw a player do this. Sitting on the sideline with a mink coat on, with some shades. Imagine if you saw a dude sitting on the sideline, a quarterback, with a mink coat on and some shades. Imagine if Warren Moon did that back in the day. Randall Cunningham. Man, please. We know the game. It's not like we don't know the game. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Jamel, what's up, baby? Talk to us. 64-16 coming next in Anonymous. Man. Talk to me. What's up, Jamel?
Coach, what to do, man?
Man, I'm in here talking, man. I'm ready to rock this thing. Let's go.
I hear what you're talking about, man. And I think you spot on. A couple things I think I may defer on, but I mean differentiate between, but I think you spot on, man. At the end of the day, I knew it wasn't going to be the ideal situation for Shedeur when one thing happened. I'm watching college football last year. In the vast majority of the year, they're saying this on TV. They're saying this will not be a strong quarterback draft. They didn't have that much. They didn't like the draft that much. And what I try to explain to a lot of people is just because Shedeur is the best or one of the best quarterbacks in that draft doesn't mean you're a no-brainer that I have to take you number one or number two. Think about this. The year before, first pick was Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, remember, told the Bears he didn't want to go to Chicago. But he was looked at as a franchise player that whole time. So when they see you as that, you have that leverage. Now, does that mean I don't think Shedeur could play? I think Shedeur, in my opinion, always said this. You talk about that last pass, his deep ball accuracy way better than Cam Ward's, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's what I felt. I mean, even as a Miami guy.
That's fine.
But here's the thing: he already didn't think that there was a deep quarterback draft. So, with that being said, as you know, Coach, that means you're more likely to be replaced. They don't see you as generational every 10 years, every whatsoever, right? I don't think nothing is truly wrong with Shedeur's personality. I think if you match the personality to what they perceive the talent to be, that's the issue. Now, I know we mentioned that Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel. Let's not get it twisted. Shedeur was no Baker Field or Johnny Manziel in college.
Thank you.
Let's not forget what Johnny Manziel did to Alabama when Bama was Bama. Like, these dudes, like, we thought they were going to be something. And Baker Mayfield is taking off to have a great career on the back end. But we thought Johnny Manziel and Baker was going to be something different because they just had this other thing. That don't mean I don't think Shedeur is good, but I don't like us keep making that comparison because it's not apples. It's not apples to apples.
Well, I'll say this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're talking about the antics more than the play. But the antics, I'm saying and here's the deal. Can I say this? I hate it. Shedeur don't really even have antics. It's more the stuff that goes around him. Is more. It ain't Shedeur. Dog, you holding up the rolling. What? That's the most minor thing in the world to me. But I'm saying Johnny Manziel out here with the money dance. Baker Mayfield out here throwing the X across his joint, right? Telling people to man, come on. Shedeur ain't got none of that, bro.
I agree. I'm not. Well, let me change my words. Maybe not the antics, but the eyes are the same. Is what I mean. What I mean by
that's
that
fair. That's
the
fair.
eyes that was on Johnny and then versus the eyes on Shedeur. It's the same, but for different reasons.
Okay.
Where Shedeur and then built this brand. Well, Deion built the brand, and then built the brand. All eyes on me. The Instagram names on the back of the practice jerseys. You heard what the Oregon coach said last year. We don't play for clicks. So that's telling you what the undertone of how people really think about your brand. Whether you know that's good or not, you choose your brand. But what I'm saying is, think about this. There was somebody else that came from Colorado with him, Travis Hunter, who DB and receiver. Travis Hunter, much more humble dude. You don't hear nobody talking about Travis Hunter like that. And I'm not saying I have a problem with Shedeur. I want to make that clear. What I'm saying is, let's look at the perception. Here's your best player, arguably the best player in college football, even though I think it's Cam Ward. Here's your second best player, one of the better quarterbacks in college football, but they saying it's not a great quarterback draft. Look at how this dude is. He just wants to play video games on TikTok and just work hard. You have a Shedeur where there's a Tom Brady telling him, hey, man, you need to focus on football. Not saying he's not, but as you know, Coach, perception is reality. And I'm not saying that none of the stuff you guys said about racism and all of those things aren't existent. I believe those things are happening as well. But to your point of having to be 2 times better, I'm saying that if they don't already see you as this just generational talent where I have to put up with some of the theatrics, they're not going to rock with you. A coach told me this one time in life, and it made so much sense. Coach Dawood told me this. He said, hey, they only put up with your antics for so long until you're no longer the guy that you once was, right?
There you go.
We see that all the time. We see guys who still probably had a couple more years left in the league, but their level of play diminished. So now they traded from team to team.
Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson,
Terrell Owens, Allen Iverson, Odell Beckham. We can go down the list.
Mm-hmm.
All of these people had high personalities, high brands, high theatrics, all of these things. Then we also see somebody that played in the NBA forever, and I'm crossing sports, but the principal say, Udonis Haslem.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Udonis, He didn't play. I think they when they did the numbers, I think Udonis Haslem might have sat out eight years worth of his career, something crazy like
Sat
that.
on the bench for 8 years. Yes.
But he wasn't bringing all of the extra stuff. So yeah, your talent wasn't there no more, but we valued the leadership and those things.
There you go.
So I think if Shedeur had this next, like they looked at him as a more of a, this generation talent, I think he would be on the field. I think he can play though. I just think that because of all the extra stuff, it's hard for him. He can't request a trade because that's going to also be bad for him. So he can't even do that because then where does he go? You say to Baltimore, but Shedeur got a big following, a big crowd. Why would they want that in a room with Lamar? They may not want that.
Hold on, real quick, Jamel, real quick. And I hate to cut you off, but I got other people. Here's what I'm going to say, Jamel. Great point. And I brought this up because I want to provoke this conversation. Because everybody's saying, Shedeur needs to get out of there, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. But ain't nobody saying where he needs to go, including myself. I raise my hand. You know why? Because I don't know who wants, and I said this earlier for lack of a better term, who wants to deal with the circus that comes with him, not him. The circus that comes with him, the YouTube channels that pop up. Now, the coach is bombarded with questions about the fifth round draft pick. The coach is bombarded with questions about the third string guy. The coach is bombarded about questions about a guy that they don't want to play. No. So my question to that, Jamel, what does he do? If he goes, where does he go? If he doesn't go, what does he do? That's all I'm asking.
All he got to do is this, because this is all he can do. This is one of those things where I say, when the boy gets his opportunity, and it's not going to be easy to stay focused, to stay locked in, but when he gets his opportunity, people are in trouble, because one thing we know about being men, you put a man through the fire enough, and he gets that I don't care, I can't hear no noise, I'm not scared of anything. Put him on the field, and he's gonna be balling, because it's gonna be no such thing as pressure, because he already seen the worst of the worst of what you could do to him. So the best thing he can do is turn into a testimony of just locking in until he gets that opportunity, because he can't request a trade. That's gonna play into the narrative of what they're saying. It's gonna be all on SportsCenter, so he can't really do that. Because remember, you're a fifth round pick. Who the heck do you think you are to be requesting a trade? Like, that doesn't happen. So now he doesn't have that leverage. So he has to just stay the course. He got to just stay the course, and it's not going to be easy, but that's the only option he truly has in this case. He can't get all involved in I think I'm going to play at Dillon Gabriel. No, because the coach put his name on Gabriel. So as you know, if a coach drafts a guy, he's going to get way more opportunities than you're ever going to get. Why? Because that's an investment. And if that investment fails and a fifth round investment is a lot better, they're going to look at the coach like, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
So here, hold on, right there. Two things I want to say. First thing I'm going to go with. So this is why I say that junk Kevin Stefanski said was coach speak about, well, I didn't know about Joe Flacco being traded. It was happening so fast. Because if Dillon Gabriel is your guy, and you had that conversation with Andrew Berry and Haslam and all these people, that's what you want. You have some say-so. Now, you don't have any say-so about Joe Flacco when you probably had say-so to bring Flacco back. You probably had say-so to bring Kenny Pickett back. You probably even had say-so to bring Tyler Huntley back. But what do? Now, all of a sudden, Flacco gets drafted. You don't have no say-so? Sir, everybody in that organization, shout out to DC, talking about the head. I forgot what he said, the term he used. But everybody's pointing the finger. Jimmy Haslam talking about, well, if you had asked me on Friday, we picking him up, I'd have said no. Then the head coach saying, well, it was Andrew Berry. And bro, it's a fiasco. It is bull crap over there. And so, to your point, I understand why you're saying Shedeur could be in trouble. I'm not saying it has to be publicly known or publicly said. I'm talking about having a man-to-man conversation with those guys in the room and say, this is what I would like, coach. Nothing has to be said. If it comes up, I don't even know what I don't know what you talk, because you saw what I said, and we can handle this discreetly. Right? When I read that thing, discreetly, meaning just let me go. If I get traded, I'll be like, oh man, I ain't know nothing about it, man. Hey, this team wanted me, whoop, whatever. We can all play this off. We can all win. All I'm saying is, and that's my point. That's that point. The other piece, Jamel, is I don't think Shedeur or anybody can prosper at this program. I don't care what opportunity, and I get where you're coming from. Oh, when Shedeur gets his chance, you put me through the fire. I get it. I understand that. But at this particular program, as bad as it is, I don't care what quarterback you put there. This ain't Colorado where you got a bad old line. But guess what they had? A Heisman Trophy winning receiver. They had great support around them at receivers in Haslam and Wester. Haslam and Jimmy Horn and Wester. Right? And you weren't playing in a league that was all that tough. You were in the Big 12 with a Pac-12 and the Big 12. It ain't all that, it wasn't no gangster league. Let's call it what it is. I don't think Shedeur can prosper here because they don't have the right pieces. He's going to look just like Dillon Gabriel, whether he's good or not. You can hit a dude in the helmet with a ball because he ain't turned around yet and get ridiculed. You get sacked 6 times, the pocket just collapses on top of you. You hit a dude in the chest in the NFL. You can hit a dude in the chest in the National Football League, the creme de la creme of athletes, and the ball just fall out their hand. Jamel, come on, bro. I don't care who you put back there. It ain't going to be that much better.
I agree with you.
I don't think they will. I think they still 1-5 if Shedeur started from week 1 because they are that bad. I'm being honest, and it's not a Shedeur problem. I want people to understand that this is not a Shedeur problem. This is a team problem.
Franchise.
Yes.
This is the brand.
Yes.
They haven't done anything right. He just got drafted into. Put it this way: to be a 5th round pick and get drafted to the Browns as a quarterback is terrible. Here's why. Usually the Browns get the first pick because they suck. Usually if you get drafted later in the draft as a QB, you go to somebody decent. That's just the way it works. Lamar went to the Ravens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go to somebody that's decent, typically, if you get drafted later. He went to one of the most dysfunctional, if not the most dysfunctional NFL franchises that you could possibly go to. So to your point, I was speaking more to the Shedeur fans that are like biased, that don't see the bigger picture. That's just like, you know what I mean, throwing caution to the wind. I was speaking more to them. But to your point, overall, do I think it's an ideal situation? No, I don't. I think it's just pretty bad for him.
Yeah, I agree, man. Well, Jamel, I appreciate it, dog. Thank you, man, for calling in. And like I said, I just don't think, brother. I think what he should do, this has been me, is you go to an organization and you could be the Aaron Rodgers, where you sit behind the Brett Favre, whatever, and you become the next guy in line and that kind of deal.
Not right? With that policy, though. That's the problem. If he didn't have the brother with the camera behind him everywhere he go, if he didn't have
there you go.
Imagine who is Shedeur going to sit behind for 3? What franchise is about to deal with that for 3 years?
And I'm gonna tell you the difference.
Every time the star quarterback play bad.
Yeah. Okay. And can I tell you the difference between him and Travis? Travis was a co-host at Jackson State and Colorado. He was a co-star. He wasn't the star.
Right.
He you know what I'm saying? He was a supplemental piece, right? He was a co-star. Uh-huh. When you watched Well-Off Media focused on the Sanders family, which is fine. Well-Off Media is not a Colorado-based thing. It's a Sanders family documentary channel. And those other people that's on the team are co-stars. They're extras.
Well, you put it that way.
If you go watch Well-Off Media, it's Shedeur, Coach Prime, and Shiloh. And of course, we'll talk about Travis and so forth, and Jordan Seaton, and we'll talk about Jimmy Horn and those guys because it's part of the Sanders aura. But it was not a just like when it was at Jackson State, it wasn't a Jackson State channel. It was a Shedeur, it was a Sanders family reality thing. And now look at it. So why is Well Off Media not up there with Travis?
I mean, I think they've seen him a couple times, but you got a point though.
But what I'm saying is Travis broke off and did his thing. And he doesn't think about it. Nobody started brand new Jaguar channels because of Travis.
Right.
Because he's always been low key. The most the kid did was put on some pajamas and dance around with his girlfriend. And they tried to rip them because she made a video with some dudes or whatever. Like, other than that, what else Travis do? Go fishing? Like what? Like what? And play football.
And when they tried to rip his girl, Travis pretty much let the world know, I'm not into all of this. I just want to play ball.
Thank you.
All this extra, y'all can keep this. Like, he literally started to get mad. Like, yo,
bro.
Can y'all leave us alone?
Yeah. And all that stuff died. But anyway, man, I got to run, man. Let me get to the next caller here. Ohio player, you coming up, baby, but I got anonymous before you.
Coach.
Thank you, brother, man. Appreciate you. Real quick, 862-799-9956. Please feel free to call in. I got anonymous up first, Ohio player next. Real quick, Latre says the Brown organization is where QBs go to suffer. From the top down, the entire organization needs an overhaul. You see, once the Commanders got the toxicity out, the culture changed. Yes. But Latrice, I've seen you on this channel before. I know you've been around. I appreciate you. But this is something Coach said a long time ago. The Cleveland Browns, you need a nickel worth of high test in a match and burn that junk to the ground. Here's why I keep telling y'all, these owners don't care about money. Hold on, let me just make sure. Didn't they just get approved? Hold up, just want to make sure. I'm coming, guys. I want y'all to understand how this money works. Hold up. I just saw this today. When did this break? One day ago, this was written October 13th. Today is the 14th. The Haslam Sports Group and the city of Cleveland announced an agreement Monday that ends a month-long legal battle and paves the way for the Browns to build a new domed stadium in suburban Brook Park. The agreement includes $100 million commitment from the Haslam. $100 million. The dude worth billions. That's nothing. Which owns the team to the city. I want to see what the stadium, what they said it was. I want to say 2 point. Here we go. Last October, the Browns announced they informed the city of their intentions to build a $2.4 billion with a B. $2.4 billion state-of-the-art stadium and entertainment sports complex. What are we talking about? $2.4 billion with a B. And they're a losing program. They're terrible. And they finna put $2.4 billion. The Haslam Sports Group is going to give $100 million. That's peanuts. Anyway, I don't want to go all day with this. Anonymous, talk to us. Anonymous.
Yo, what's good with you, shorty?
Oh, damn. Who are we talking to? Damn, Coach became a shouty?
Huh?
Oh, Lord.
Shit. It's your boy, DJ King Dingaling, calling from Anchorage, Alaska. What's good?
Sound like shrinkage, Alaska. But anyway, go ahead.
Hey, it's colder than a look, it's cold as hell up here. But look, Shedeur just ain't that good of a quarterback coach. I mean, I'm not saying he can't play. I'm sure he will play. But he just lacks like the elite traits for NFL success.
Explain.
I think that's go ahead.
I say explain. Explain what you mean.
Okay, here's what I'm saying. Like, what do people like to point out? That he has a high pass percentage, right? It was like 69%, 70%, something like that.
72, I
But
believe.
72, okay. But a lot of his throws was like quick check down passes. If you look at his accuracy at the deep ball, it's worse than 50-50.
Okay.
Not only that, but his completion percentage is or how would you say, like it doesn't tell the whole story, right? He got sacked 52 times in 2023, 42 times in 2024. He was the most sacked quarterback every year that he played in college, right? And that's from holding on to the ball. You know when they can't sack you is when you got rid of the ball. But he held on to the ball. He don't stay in the pocket. He drifts back, right? He invites the pressure on him. Okay. And when he's under pressure, his accuracy is even worse than his deep ball. So I just don't see that translating. Like if you compare him to the other quarterbacks in what you already said was a weak quarterback class, right? The other quarterbacks who went before him, they had better pocket presence. They had better football IQ. They made better decisions under pressure. They got rid of the ball. They had more zip in their pass. You know, Shedeur didn't have that. Not to mention, look at when he went to the combine. He said he wasn't going to throw, right? They said he had a bad interview. Actually, not just that he had a bad interview, that they had the worst interview. You know, of course, that's an anonymous source who didn't put their name behind it. But I do think that there's a circus around him, and he seems like a good kid, you know. Like I don't think that it's his personality per se, you know. But I don't think he does a lot, and maybe he shouldn't have to do a lot, you know, to convince people that he's not this arrogant or spoiled sort of nepotism case, you know, like. He shouldn't be. I don't think that we should hold him accountable for like who his daddy is and like all that. But
hold on, I can't call you king. I got to call you something else. I'm just gonna call you king. I can't be calling no grown man king wing. But here's what I'll say. But we should, because that's part of who he is. That is his child. That's Dillon Sanders' child. That's no different than LeBron James. We do the same thing with Bronny James. We do the same thing with Denzel Washington and his son as an actor. Anytime there's a legacy deal there, you're going to make that comparison. Now, the hard part is most kids can't live up to their whatever their parent did. Most kids are never going to be as good as their parent because there's a different set of DNA that goes in there, right? It's just what it is because they got a mama, right? Or however that works. You know what I mean? So far, if it's a lady, then they got a dad. But it's very rare that a kid let's look at Michael Jordan and his kids. What did they come out to be? They went to UCF and nothing, right? I'm not downplaying it. What I'm saying, that's so hard to do, to fill those shoes. And so, but that is part of who they are. I don't think
right, but look at the Manning brothers, right? Archie Manning, greatest quarterback the Saints ever had. You didn't see that. You didn't see people talking, you know, the same shit with Peyton or with Eli or even with Arch Manning, right? Well, you don't see them coming out saying, "Well, he is going to go play here. He's not going to go play here." Like,
well, that's not
fair. Kind of making these unrealistic demands.
Well, that's also not fair. Well, yeah, because we did see that with Eli. But here's what I'll say: Eli did that. Eli Manning did that, clearly did that with the Giants and the Chargers. But what the difference is, social media, everybody now has a voice, right? The only person that talked about it was a sports journalist that wrote it in something, whether it was a newspaper, the New York Times, Washington Post, or some magazine. You had to go find it and read it. Other than that, you heard it as commentators spoke about it at the game. Now, it's a gazillion YouTube outlets that's got their own opinion, including me sitting up here now, that can talk about this stuff and come up with my own opinion. I'm sitting up here writing doggone letters. Well, I ain't actually write it, though, but you know what I'm saying. I'm a G about mine. The trade letter. I'm just saying that It's all about content, so the eras are totally different. But to your point, even the Eli man, let's look at Arch right now. Is Arch he they nephew? He ain't they kid. That's their brother child. And he ain't looking,
Right.
he
That's
ain't
right.
looking too Manning like right now. Am I right or wrong?
Nah, he look like trash right now.
He ain't looking like the golden arches. He looking like the golden art right now. He ain't looking like Arch Manning, if you understand what I'm saying. So I say all that to say, you know, again, I'm not mad that Shedeur's not playing. I'm more upset that there's not a plan. That's all. Because even like anybody else, there's a plan. Will Howard won the national championship. Am I right?
Right.
He plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guarantee there's a plan for him. There's a plan. He ain't just willy-nilly and walking around the Steelers training camp. Am I right?
You're right.
And
But,
Will Howard,
you know, these teams,
Will Howard won a natty, and he got drafted 7th round. But go ahead.
right. I mean, at the end of the day,
round,
Coach, these teams want to win. They want to win championships. They want to win games. They want to fill the stands. And if Shedeur Sanders was the guy, if he was him, they would put him on the field and play him.
So why draft him? Why did they waste their time? I'm with you. Let's go with what you're saying. Let's just say he is not what they thought he was going to be. Fair. Let's just go with what you're saying. You just picked up a guy in the 3rd round. You come back 2 rounds later and pick up another guy. Why?
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's buying an undervalued asset.
Okay.
You know, they made a cost-benefit analysis, and nobody had picked him up by the 5th round. At that point, he was worth it.
Okay.
Why not pick him up?
Okay, fair. Now watch this. Do you think that Kenny Pickett is better than Shedeur Sanders? Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay. Do you believe Joe Flacco is better than Kenny Pickett? Than Shedeur Sanders?
I mean, I got to say, yeah, because Joe Flacco got a Super Bowl ring.
Okay, but we're talking about at today, though. Let's look at today.
Right
now,
today?
Football. Yes, I'm
today. No.
Okay.
Today, no.
Do you believe that Tyler Huntley is better than Shedeur Sanders?
I have no idea on that one.
Do you believe?
I don't even know who Tyler Huntley is.
Okay. Do you? He played more football right now than Shedeur has. He playing at the Ravens right now. But anyway, do you believe that Zappe is better than Shedeur Sanders?
No.
So if
well,
you
don't,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's hard to say, Coach, because if you look at you got for me, I gotta go based on the stats and what my eye sees. And even in the preseason, I understand he's playing with 3rd, 4th stringers, whatever, but the same flaws in his game that everybody, all his fans wanted to blame on the O-line, and then that's another attribute which I think is a net negative, is the tendency, rather than to hold Shedeur accountable for his play, to blame his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
What you've seen in the preseason was just a continuation of what you've seen in college.
Okay.
And so based on what I have seen from Shedeur in actual gameplay, I would not place him anywhere near like the elite level in the league.
Not a problem. Here's my question. Bailey Zappe has basically been a practice squad player. He was at New England for 22-23. He went to Kansas City Chiefs in 24. He's got an asterisk, offseason and or practice squad member only. Then he came to Cleveland Browns in 24. Then he went to Kansas City Chiefs in 25 as a practice squad player. Now he's currently at the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have 3 quarterbacks on their roster. that I know of. Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Zappy. My question to you is, remember, Kenny Pickett is gone, Joe Flacco is gone. Is Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Bailey Zappi? Why can't the coach, when asked, simply say that Shedeur Sanders was the number 2 quarterback behind Dillon Gabriel? Why leave everybody in limbo about a career? That's not fair to Bailey Zappi. Why put that to a guy that came in as an insurance policy behind injury issues and leave Shedeur in limbo? For what reason? When clearly I can say that I would rather give Shedeur Sanders a shot before I gave Bailey Zappi a shot, who's since 22 to now, in the 3 years he's been there, he's been on 1, 2, 3, 4, actually been traded 5 times since 22 to 25. In 3 years, he's been traded back and forth 5 times. So back to my point is, King, that's my only issue. Where's the plan for Shedeur? That's all I'm asking.
Right. And I don't know that they do have a plan for him, right? Like, I mean, I feel like they probably in some way are trying to manage the circus. You know, they don't want, I mean, they're in the catch-22, coach. I mean, they're already,
bro, you just made the circus, you put the circus on fire when you just wouldn't name the kid as the number 2 when he clearly should have been the number 2. I think they enjoy the circus. They like the bull crap. Like, all you do is say, hey, Joe Flacco left. That was quick, blah, blah, blah. Dillon Gabriel is here. He's going to be our number 1 starter. Right now, Shedeur is our number 2. We got Bailey Zappi coming in to compete. That's it. It's done. And I don't even get paid $8 million a year to do this. I literally just thought of this right now.
Yeah, I mean, what do they benefit though, coach, from keeping people in limbo? And
clicks and likes.
Just trying to generate views and buzz?
There you go. That's it. That's it. It's no different than, I almost went there. It's no different than anything else. I'll go to this. This is probably a little safer. It's no different than Floyd Mayweather. Whether you hate Floyd or you like Floyd, you're going to pay to watch Floyd. Because if you like him, you want to see him win. If you hate him, you're going to pay to see him lose. So guess what? For them, I guess they're squeezing every ounce of juice out of the Shedeur onion they can. But guess what? This kid is being, that's why I said ask for a trade. I'm not your sideshow. But that's
trade him where, right? Like,
but that's the question.
The Jets?
I don't know, bro.
Come on, coach. That's not a better situation than he's in right now.
Listen, bro. I don't know. Well, they say, give me liberty or give me death. Let me go. That's all I can tell. Bro, you keeping me here is doing what? I'd rather go out there and search for a job. Be honest, at this point, because I don't need the money. But go where you appreciate it, not tolerate it. I mean, go where you appreciate it, and not tolerate it. Right now, this is crazy, bro. And again, it's not about him playing. It's about the development. It's about a plan for me just to be a pro. You can't even say in a press conference as a head coach with a straight face, without coach speak, that you just can't say I'm number 2. But it ain't like I'm saying number 2 because it's 4 of the guys that's in line. It's only 3 of us. And matter of fact, when did Bailey Zappi get? I don't even know when he got the doggone. On August 28th, Zappi signed. August 28th. Damn, when did the season start? When was the NFL first game?
I don't know.
Zappi been on the practice squad since August 28th. Since August 28th, bro. I've been there since April. The Cleveland Browns' first game. Listen to this. How crazy is this? He got the Cleveland Browns' first game was September 7th. Zappy wasn't even there for the preseason, bro. Was the Bengals on September 7th. He got there a week before that game started. So Zappy has literally been at that program, even though I know he was there a year before on 24. He had literally been at that program for 6 games. So 6 weeks, a month and a half. Shedeur's been there since what, April?
Right.
Come on, bro. Like, and as a coach, you can't just say, it's only 3 of us. Dillon Gabriel and me, we got here at the same time. Okay, y'all want Dillon Gabriel 1? I can't be 2, and Zappy be goddamn 3? Man, what my man say on doggone on Wakanda? Man, I'm going over the side of this boat, dog. I mean, damn, y'all put me in bondage. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, man. But anyway, and it is different for a guy who needs it, right? I understand financially. But at the end of the day, at some point, you got to teach people how to treat you.
Right. I mean, you're right about that. But at the same time, I got to ask myself, like, how many other players who don't have the last name Sanders has this happened to, right? Why do you not see people bustling for Shiloh like this, right?
Exactly.
Like, why the like obsession over Shedeur? Like, why all the gaslighting, right? Like he can play for sure. No one can take that from him, but it's like his fan base just gotta exaggerate.
So here's what I'll say if I get the Ohio player. Here's what I'll say. People said this about Shiloh. They would never admit it, but their silence tells the truth. They know that he was an NFL guy. Like, they know that. They rooted for him. They wanted to see it happen, but because they're so silent, they know he just not to knock Shiloh. I really do like Shiloh as a person. I think his personality.
Like Shiloh too,
but he just wasn't an NFL talent, and it was one of them things. We rooting for him, and he didn't make it. Ain't nobody really tripping, right? Like, I get it,
right?
But for Shedeur, I think the kid can play, especially when I see quarterback play today. See, Shedeur wasn't wrong with what he said now. He just shouldn't have said it. Right? He wasn't wrong for what he said. I believe he's done well enough to play in the NFL. I don't say he's going to have a 10, 15, 20-year career, but at least to have an opportunity. I'm not saying that he's not good enough right now where he should sit behind a guy for a year or 2. Or hell, maybe even 3. But that's a him thing. He got to think of that.
Right. And there's great quarterbacks, right? Like Aaron Rodgers, right? One of the greatest to play the game. He sat behind somebody for, some time behind, I think it was Brett Favre at the Packers, right?
Correct.
Right. So it's not unusual for even a talented quarterback, one who goes on to be a great player, to sit and learn the game and like take some time to get accustomed to the scheme. Like if Shedeur continues to play the way he played in college and the way that he played in the preseason appearances that he made in the league, where he got, heavy hitters, people who everybody on the field was a star in college. How does it even benefit him to go out there if he gets himself injured, because he's not ready, So it's like a be careful what you wish for type thing.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'm just saying it's not unusual
again
what's happening to him.
It's not. However, the circus that comes with it is what's also unusual, because a 5th round, hell, even 1st round draft picks don't have this kind of fan base, right?
Right.
Caleb Williams don't have this kind of fan base. Cam Ward don't have this kind of fan base. Jaden Daniels don't have this kind of fan base.
Right. And the only
Deion
reason people
Sanders-
even,
Deion
is still
Sanders
talking about Travis is because his girl's still making sandwiches for his teammates. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
I don't even know about all that.
it is what it is.
Here's what I know. I don't know about all that, but here's what I do know. What
Oh,
only
yeah,
thing
we know.
I don't know about it. Here's what I'll say, and I got to push on to these other guys.
All right.
Is this, to your point, is the distraction I was talking about when he got drafted. This right here, nobody else has this kind of following. Nobody else has the. It's some Michael Jackson type junk on the football field type stuff, right? People are fans, but this is a following. There's a difference. Fandom, following. There's a big
I think
difference.
the word you're looking for is cult. But
Well,
yeah.
we all know. We know it's a cult following, but what I'm saying, it's a following, right? And this following was created by his father, which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at what he did, but you have to also know what comes with this. This like some baby Michael stuff, right? Part of the Jackson 5. When he was 8 years old, he didn't want to climb trees. This dude can't even go to the park. Right? So what's the price of fame? That's the question. And did Jay-Z say that? What's the price of fame? Bro, you want to be famous. You want to build this thing. You want to build this persona, and you want to build all this. Well, this was going to come with it. Think about it. Everybody want to be Michael Jackson famous. How boring is it in life? You got to rent out Disney. Ain't nobody in there, bro. But you the most famous dude in the world. People pass out at your feet because of your music. Oh, Michael, I love you. But you can't go you literally have to rent out a grocery store with nobody in it so you could go grocery shopping, bro. What are we talking about? Like, that's what you have to be careful with, what you build and how you build it. That's all I'm saying. So I gotta run, King. I can't call you whatever that second part of your name is. You keep that with your lady. Coach ain't doing all that now. But anyway, it was fun, man. Stay warm up there in Shrinkage, Alaska. All right, brother. Yes, sir. Hold on. Alexa, cancel. Where'd she come from? Anyway, she started about to play music. Ohio player on the line. I'm glad I ain't stayed because she would have been playing Ohio player. T from Baltimore, I'm going to let you close us out tonight, man. Ohio player, what's up, baby? Talk to us.
What's up, Coach Hayes? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. I know you got some great info for me. I'm going to go ahead and close this phone.
Oh, yeah, the Ohio player, Northeast Ohio. I'm glad you did read it off. Cleveland do got a $2.4 billion stadium in suburban Brook Park, probably about 15 minutes from Cleveland. They want fans in the seat. They want the Super Bowl. They want concerts. They want this and that. That's part of the reason. I think it's something like an error. Playing violation, it's something like violation with the air and all that. That's why, because I was wondering, I said, that's a nice stadium they got in downtown Cleveland, but, why they don't just close it in, but they said it's air patrol, dealing with that. But, going from there, Shedeur, he needs to get ready. He's very close within a game, or two that he's going to be starting. Because, Dillon Gabriel, he's just not it. They list him as like 5'10". I think he's closer to 5'8", passes getting knocked down, batted back. He has what they call these hospital throws, hospital balls. He's getting his receivers hurt. That's why they kind of reluctant to be catching passes, when he was throwing it to them, because 3 or 4 of them got, hurt, almost seriously hurt, catching his passes. And, he just can't see over the line that good, especially, with guys, over 6'3", waving their arms in his, face and knocking down the football. And, he's not that mobile. He got sacked several times. And, he's just not it. He's a good,
Can I ask a question on Ohio player? Not to cut you off.
Sure.
You think Shedeur is more mobile than Dillon Gabriel?
I think he's a little bit more mobile. I'm not saying he's Deion Sanders mobile, but he's a little bit more. He's better than Dillon. So, he don't have his days legs. We already discussed it, a while back, but I think he's a little bit more mobile. But one thing Shedeur has is pinpoint precision accuracy throwing the football. Nobody could deny that because, like I said, he was the most accurate, or the best accurate football uh, quarterback in college football history, and that's spanning Jackson State and Colorado. So, and I think he led the nation with set over 74% last year. So, he can probably throw a football through a needle point. Of course I'm joking, but close enough. He's that good. That's what he got working for his favor. He's like 6'2", 6'3". So, and I'm not saying he's the most mobile. I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson mobile or Jalen Hurts mobile, but he's mobile enough. And the first 6 games we were saying that Cleveland was going to hit, a climax. The first 6 games I knew he wasn't playing unless both quarterbacks got hurt. But GM Barry would not have traded Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, especially Joe Flacco, in the middle of the week if he didn't see potential in Shedeur Sanders. And and Coach Haslam, the owner of the Browns, he likes him too. He knows Shedeur is good for business. Not only talent-wise, but he knows he's good for business. And like I said, he won't standings in those seats and won't interest in his team, and he knows Shedeur brings it. He's like a rock star. So with all that being said, they need offensive line. There's no ifs or buts about it. Both at, the top Dewan, the big, huge tackle, he's out for a period of time. So they need offensive line because, they one of the worst in the league. So at first, I'm very anxious to get Shedeur out there on the field like nobody else. But then I understand it to a certain extent why they don't want to put him out there. And I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt with that because the offensive line is no good. And Shedeur, unless he needs to work on throwing that football a millisecond faster than he normally does, or he's gonna be like a LA Rams type of situation last preseason game. But because they need to work on the offensive line. And they got high draft picks, and hopefully they'll address that. But if they give him an O-line, then Shedeur will be prime time,
That's most quarterbacks.
Not only that, right on. And not only that, like I said, he just need to get ready because Coach Kevin Stefanski is on the hottest of seats. One more loss, and he's pretty much out of there. And Dillon Gabriel, he got one more game to show because the media here, even the media, you can't keep piling up losses. If you're going to pile up losses, might as well start Shedeur, because you got interest in the team and, fanfare. And, when fans are still, interested in the team and it's not no brown paper bags over their faces or half empty stadiums, then, they don't want that. So, like I said, Dillon Gabriel, I think he's like, I don't want to call him spot duty, but, he is, that's what he is. He's like, spot duty for right now. And once Shedeur learns the playbook and everything, which I think he already has, and he's ready, within another game or two, he's gonna be out there. And then I think he got it from here on out, to see what he can do. And and they know he's the future. They know he's like a rock star in terms of football popularity. What other 5th round quarterback in NFL history got as much pub as Shedeur? You know what I'm saying? Last time I think somebody can say that a quarterback got that much pub was, Tim Tebow to a certain extent. But, Shedeur's, surpassed that. So if he's ready, they want him out there. Because trust me, if GM Barry wants him out there, that's why he made them cut them 2 quarterbacks, traded them, and Coach Haslam wants them. The owner Haslam wants him, then, if he's ready, he's going to be playing more sooner than later.
So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
If Shedeur started these first 6 games, what do you think their record would be? They're 1-5 right now. You think they still be? What do you think their record would be?
I think they'll be at least 3-3 because there's a couple of games. Because there was a couple of close losses, one to Cincinnati, and then there was another one even in the Pittsburgh game. The Browns lost it more than Pittsburgh won it, and I think he could have, 52 passes. I think he could at least have 2 touchdown passes. And so it was like 3 games that. Within 10 points. And I think they could have won at least a couple of those games. They could be at least 3-3 right now, besides 1-5, So I think that's a fair assessment.
I'm with you, bro. I listen, I have to be honest with you. I don't even watch NFL. I don't even watch the Cleveland Browns. I'll be lying to you if I told you I did. You wanna know why? Because Shedeur ain't playing.
Right.
I just call it what it is.
You said the same sentiments a lot of them do. You know, to be honest, like the aunties, for instance. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I'll say this to your Ohio player. Do you hold on? This is an eyebrow question because hating behind Gennaro in the thing. I know you've been waiting for me to say his name all day. Shout out to E Brown in the building. Boy, you shout out E Brown. You got 5 minutes in the lower right hand corner, E Brown, for what you're doing. Here's what I'm gonna say to you, Gennaro. He a hater, but he want to see me lose an eyebrow. Do you think that Shedeur Sanders starts next week's game against the Dolphins?
It's possible, not probable, but it's possible. You know,
well, anything's possible.
Yeah, because it's
possible. It's possible, sir. It's possible. Hold on. It's possible, sir, that ESPN will call me tonight because the head of programming is watching the show and says, I need that guy on ESPN in the morning to debate somebody, whoever that is. But is it probable? My question is,
this is Cleveland Browns we talk about. That's why I say it's always possible, not probable, but it's possible. So, So
by 1 o'clock, so by 1 o'clock Sunday, October 19th, remember, he could play the second play of the game. He can't play the first play.
Right.
As my eyebrows say, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. For all your life savings, is my eyebrow safe or is it gone?
I think it's safe.
So little bucket eyebrow is safe. It's gone.
I think it's safe. If you're a big man, I think you bet on that.
Y'all heard that. Me and Little Bucket made a bet that Shedeur Sanders will start by week 7. That is against my beloved Miami Dolphins on October 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or I would have to shave my left eyebrow, which is actually this one, on live TV, or he would have to shave his. I've already collected 2 eyebrows so far. This is going to be my last bet ever because people don't like to pay. I spoke to my man Sid with the Texas, and he's supposed to come on here and take care of some things, but I did speak to him, and he's supposed to give up that eyebrow. So I got Big Tiger, I got Sid, the Longhorn Lunatic, and Lil Bucket minus an eyebrow on this one, and I'm done because people don't want to pay up. But Ohio player, I appreciate you, man. You play so well, man. Don't y'all agree in the stand in the audience? He plays so beautifully, man. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, yes, no doubt.
Play on, player. Play on, my man.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you later.
Boy, this next guest right here. Oh, this next guest right here is my dog too. This is my boy. I've been looking for him at night with a flashlight. Where my flashlight at? I've been looking for him at night with a flashlight. Huh? Somebody put on the blinking light. I've been looking for flashlight. Where is he at? Cut the lights off in here. It was a dark and gloomy night. I was looking for him. It's Halloween, y'all. It's Halloween. Huh? We got the red blinking light. We ready? I've been looking for this cat. He been running from me. I like the way this show look right here. This ain't a bad look. I need a little light in my face. This is my man T from Baltimore. Ooh-wee. Looking for him. Why? As soon as he get on here, he gonna talk greasy. Talk to me, T. Oh yeah. Talk to me, T.
What it do, Coach?
Oh yeah. Boy, you been mighty silent. It was a dark and gloomy night.
Hey, listen.
The Monster Mash.
I had to go to therapy for a couple weeks, but I had to check myself into the sane asylum.
Uh-oh. Let me tell you something, boy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Hey, T from Baltimore, baby, we're going to have to dance. We're going to have to dance. And I need you to bring the music, T. I need you to bring the music.
Oh, I'm bringing.
And don't be coming up here with the 3 the hard way and the Furious 5. I need some real G music, dog.
Man, listen. I had to go to therapy. You feel me? And then, at therapy, we practice making cinnamon rolls. And we learn how to make these cinnamon rolls, and then we pull them out the oven, and they turn into Seminoles. And we get those things out hot and ready. You know what I mean? Shake them off because, this great team from Miami threw us a nice little alley-oop.
Yes, sir.
And we had to put that final nail in the coffin.
All I'm going to say to you, T, before we get into this Shedeur, Colorado, or whatever, I got one thing to say to you.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
What's that?
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Hey, just be ready. That's all I'm gonna say. Just be ready. It's okay.
Listen, Linda. Linda, listen.
Just be ready. Just be ready.
If that cash right Hayes there every night, Coach been smooth since the days of under rules. Let me tell you something, B. Let me tell you something, T. From Baltimore. Hey, you see what? Anytime a dude from the crib rub them hands together, he knows something. He knows something.
Man, listen.
It ain't no different than lemon pepper wings at Wingstop. He knows something.
I'm telling you, I had to go to therapy, man. Yeah, we had to go to therapy for a little second, and then we came out in a better place. Just know that.
All I can tell you is, can I say this? Hey, T.
Good.
T.
Talk to me.
I said, hey, T. That junk over there, trash, boy. Trash. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's trash.
All right. I hear you. All
right. All of that right there, them past probably 5 to 10 minutes was all inside joke stuff. I know y'all like, what in the world are they talking about? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, for real.
It'll come out in the wash. Huh? It'll come out in the wash. So
it definitely will.
Oh, it's gonna come out in the wash. But
man,
all right, talk to me, man.
You know why Shedeur not playing, man.
Why is he not? Okay, hold up. Can I go back? Let me straight something real quick before you start. Are you clear on what my position is about Shedeur? I just want to ask that first. Do me a favor. You got a speakerphone? You got no speaker or Bluetooth?
Hold on. Let me switch you out. Let me get you right second.
If you take me off Bluetooth, because it got a kickback in there.
All right, can you hear me now?
That's better. Yeah, that's 100% better. I was hearing myself talking back. All right. Are you clear on my position for the past 2 hours and 8 minutes? What I've kind of been saying. Are you clear on what I've been saying about Shedeur?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right.
I mean, you make a valid point. I don't necessarily agree, but you make a valid point.
Okay. Well, because like I said, my position is not necessarily his playing time as more as a plan for him to be whatever he's going to be. That's really my whole position. My position is, should he play or could he play? Most definitely. But since he's not playing, what's the plan for me to get there? What am I looking at? That's all I'm saying. So go ahead, man. Please pontificate, and then I will opine.
All right. So we talking about somebody that had an opportunity to basically go to 2 winning franchises. Because all these rumors came out to be true as far as Philly reaching out, because this came out prime mouth. This ain't from the he say, she say.
That's true.
He said Philly and the Ravens reached out.
True.
Shedeur declined.
Okay.
You chose being Shedeur one of the worst organizations ever from the top down.
Did he choose
to
Cleveland
go-
or did Cleveland choose him? I just want to make sure.
No, he chose Cleveland because he did not take the other options for better teams that was on the board looking at him.
Okay.
So
I
he
agree, bro.
chose
Okay.
Cleveland because he wanted to play early in his mind.
I think that's pretty fair, but go ahead.
So I have no remorse for somebody that bet on themselves and went on in and said, "Nah, Ravens, I'm good. I don't want to back up Lamar Jackson. What I look like? A backup? I ain't no backup to Lamar. I can't learn nothing sitting on the bench." Even though historically, damn near every backup that came to back up Lamar Jackson got a starting opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what the Ravens do historically.
Okay.
If you are a young rookie, if you look at the history of the Ravens, you come play for the Ravens as a rookie, as a young guy,
Mhm.
you're probably going to get an opportunity to play somewhere else as a starting quarterback.
Okay.
Then you turn down Philly, which we've seen Jalen Hurts get hurt.
Mhm.
We've seen Jalen Hurts had these bad stretches where he ain't getting the ball to the guys. And there's your opportunity right there. Ain't much competition behind that.
So
Could
back
have
to-
went there.
okay,
You
so
chose to go to the Browns.
okay. Well, here's what I'll say. It is the only thing I'll say. One thing in life we can do versus something we can't do is connect the dots going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
If, like I said earlier, if Lamar doesn't get hurt, this is not a conversation. First, let's just say first. Second, if Shedeur Sanders started at Cleveland, this is not a conversation. This was, maybe in my opinion, a calculated bet that maybe didn't go in your favor. I hate to say this, but I'm being as honest as I can be. You have very valid points about people playing and going somewhere and starting. This may have been a miscalculation. I'll just call it the Sanders camp because I don't know who came up with what.
Mm-hmm.
But why not feel like where you know people say we bet on ourselves? Why not say, Joe Flacco? Because remember, Prime even said that. Oh, they got a Joe Flacco. Remember, Prime said he old as me. So that wasn't
Mhm.
really competition. I'm not sure when they brought
Right.
Kenny Pickett in. Was it after the draft or before the draft?
This was just before the draft.
Okay.
So they wasn't even remember, Kenny Pickett was at one point the only healthy quarterback on the roster.
Correct. Then I don't know. Here's the next question. And everybody right here, respectfully, Coach, you were off. I guess he's saying on this one. The conversation about the Ravens drafting Shedeur happened during the draft. Coach Prime spoke directly. Correct. The question we're having is when in the draft? We know it was the draft, but when? Was this in round 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? I don't know where this happened, and I'm not trying to do that. Here's what I'll say. Let's say this was prior to the 3rd round. There was no Dillon Gabriel at that time. I don't know what his agents were being told because we hear it all the time. Hey, get ready, baby. You about to become a Philadelphia Eagle. Kid over there fired up. And then they look on the TV. T from Baltimore to the Philadelphia Eagle. You're like, what the? You just called me and told me I was going to be the pick. So it's a lot that goes into that. Timing is everything. I don't know when that Ravens call and Philadelphia call took place. Was it in the 2nd round, the 3rd round, the 4th round? I don't know. So I can only speculate because I don't know. If that call took place prior to the 3rd round, say it was in the middle of the 2nd round, there was no Dillon Gabriel on the board at that time, meaning he wasn't already picked. Maybe it's plausible that Shedeur goes in the third to Cleveland, and he got to battle out an old Joe Flacco, which he could sit for a year if Joe Flacco goes, and maybe a early Kenny Pickett, and that's it. I don't know. I'm only speculating. That's all I can do here because I don't know. But I think the timing of that draft during the draft process, like Jay Zaki, if I'm saying it right, he says the conversation about the Ravens drafting Shedeur happened during the draft. I know it happened during the draft. My question is when during the draft is very big. That's huge. That's a huge point. See, context matters because was it first round? Did he turn down first round money? Which I doubt because I don't think they did that. I'm thinking because they already got a Lamar, it probably was a third round call, right? That's I'm only assuming. We'll pick you up in the third, right? Maybe the fourth. Well, if you're going to pick me up in the fourth, don't draft me. Because it's teams out there need a quarterback in the third. Like, for example, let's just say you go to call. Hey, Coach Prime, what's up? This is Ozzy. Listen, baby, we got a pick here in the fourth, in the fifth, or whatever. We'll take you. Nah, Coach, don't take me. Don't pick me up. I want to go to a team where I can play. I'm just bringing scenarios here.
I know. I mean, I feel you, but at the same time, you know what? At the end of the day, it's irrelevant because he chose his fate. That's one. Two, we had a conversation about this a while ago.
Sure we did.
Before the season for Colorado even ended. And I told you before, it would probably be easier to take Shiloh than it would be Shedeur. The reason being is because if Shedeur get out there and it don't look good, they're not going to blame Shedeur. They're going to blame the coach. They're going to blame the team. They're going to blame the O-line. They're going to blame the receivers for not doing what they're supposed to do. Everybody else is going to get blamed in the court of public opinion when it comes to Shedeur, just because of the personality, who he is. He is a likable, charismatic kid. It is very hard to realistically hate on him.
Correct. No, here's the funny thing, T. They literally blamed Dillon Gabriel for hitting a receiver in the head with the ball. They want to make him look that. They want to make him look that bad. Oh, he got sacked 6 times.
Bruh.
But the O-line, hold on, because Ohio player just called in here and said if he can get a line in front of him, and I'm not blaming Ohio player, I'm just using what he said. Ohio player just called in here and said if Shedeur get an O-line in front of him, he could be yada yada yada. Well, Dillon Gabriel got sacked 6 times. Is it because of the O-line probably?
Nah, it's because of Dillon Gabriel. But when Shedeur gets sacked 7, 8 times, it's because of the O-line. The O-line trash.
And see, that right there is what that right there, when people watch this show, this is why they call us haters, but we're just pointing out like, come on, guys, it's football. We're talking football. I have never seen a quarterback get blamed for being accurate with the football, but in the same breath, we'll say this kid is the most accurate quarterback to ever come out of college football. You literally hit a dude in the face with the ball. You can't get more accurate than that, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Buddy wasn't even paying attention. I thought he was going to get a concussion. I mean, he smacked him with it.
Yeah, but Dillon Gabriel's job is to deliver the rock. It ain't my fault that you ain't looking.
Right. And he was open. That was the crazy part.
That would have been what, touchdown, wouldn't it?
Yeah. He was right on the goal line.
Right on the goal line. But see, these are the things that I actually watched a dude on a show said Dillon Gabriel needed to get out the game because he got caught from behind when he was rolling out the puck. Bro, we literally saw this. Like, that's the hypocrisy that blows me, and that's the grifting I don't like, bro. But I try to stay away from the grifters. But that pisses me off because those people come here and then they try to push that on over here, and I'm not going to let it fly. I'm not going to let it fly. And Ohio player, I love you, brother. But you can't tell me. You can't tell me that Shedeur Sanders is more mobile than Dillon Gabriel. I'm sorry, I can't. I try to. That's not gonna happen. I can't. I ain't saying that Dillon Gabriel is Lamar Jackson. You're right, but Dillon Gabriel is more mobile than Shedeur Sanders.
And this the thing.
Now hold on, I don't
Like
want to say that. That doesn't mean he's a better quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to the category of mobility, if you go look on Madden, I guarantee Dillon Gabriel's number is higher than Shedeur's. And y'all gonna say, well, that's collusion, coach. No, that's just a straight up fact. Stop.
It's a fact.
But anyway, I digress. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, but you on point with that. But what I'm saying is this. Stefanski know if Shedeur get in there and look like trash, he gonna get fired. The fan base gonna turn on him.
Of course. Of course. And the sad part about it, that's what people won't see. Because all of the problems that they're having now, that they're blaming Dillon Gabriel for, all of those here's another victim. Can I tell you something? Bailey Zappi is a victim, dog. Bro,
yep.
The dude just showed, bro, y'all called me to come over here. I was at Kansas City chilling. Patrick Mahomes doing his thing. I'm eating barbecue. Y'all called me back over here to this god-awful place. I didn't want no problem. Hell, I ain't never did an interview yet. And y'all found out that Stefanski, or Fansky, however you say his god-awful name, won't say that Shedeur number 2, and now y'all picking on me. And I ain't had nothing to do with it, bro. I ain't even say nothing, bro. I don't even have a jersey number yet. I'm on the practice squad. We only show up on Wednesdays. Bailey Zappi over here getting roasted, bro.
But, bro, I don't know who was in his corner advising him to go to the goddamn Browns. Bro, they had Baker Mayfield is considered right now, currently, right today, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And they fumbled him.
Yeah.
By bringing in a goddamn sex addict with a bum knee. And guaranteed pay. That's how bad of an organization they are, bro. And you chose to go there.
But hold on, can I ask this? Where are we getting this from? I got to be clear. Context matters. Where are we getting that Shedeur chose to go to Cleveland?
I'm gonna tell you why he chose to go there. Because you was asking a very good question of when did that call come? First, second, third round, right? Guess what? That call had to come before the 5th round, because that's when he was drafted.
True.
How about that?
True
How
story.
about that? It had to come before, sometime before. It ain't come the 6th round. It ain't come the 7th round. So it had to come before the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And you skipped. What's the old thing say? What's the old joke? You drowning in the ocean, and a helicopter come by, and a goddamn a boat come by, and you like, damn, I was praying all this time for God to save me, and he ain't saved me. He said, well, damn, I sent you a helicopter and a boat. You still wanted to drown. You said it wasn't good enough. He had 2 great organizations to go to. Even historically, the Philly, look at Philly and look at their backup quarterbacks. And how many of them got opportunities to go somewhere else and become starting quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
So you passed up 2 organizations that historically develop quarterbacks, even if they backups, when they draft them, and send them places to go to the Browns. You accepted that.
Listen, all I'm saying is, okay, let me ask you this. If the Browns didn't draft him, who do you think would have, T? There's 32 teams, 143 picks went before him. So my question is, what team would have picked him, do you think, outside of the Browns?
Nobody.
Really?
I think he would have went undrafted.
What? I don't know.
Yes. Bro, look who was picked. Okay, look who was picked after him. Right? You said who would have drafted him. Pittsburgh had a plan. They knew who they wanted, but they knew nobody was going to go get Buddy because he had so much talent in Ohio, at Ohio State, that it's hard to tell. So we're going to get him late. We can pay him cheap. We can develop him, get him right. We're going to get Aaron right. They had a plan.
Come on, Will Howard.
Yeah. They had a plan for him. Like you was talking about.
And here you go. And Will Howard is sitting behind who? Hold on. Who's Will Howard sitting behind? Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers might be a one and done, maybe two. And it's your team, Will, to lose.
There it is. But that's a organization thinking 10 steps ahead. That's not the Browns that's paying 8 goddamn quarterbacks that ain't playing for them. I looked on their little pay chart, man. They owe a dude $8K. They owe somebody $8,000, right? They owe, I think it's Joe Flacco or one of them. They owe him
Jameis Winston.
Whoever, eight grand, bro. An NFL organization that's worth all that money owe somebody $8,000, bro. Think about that. That's how bad y'all are. 8 grand. Why is that still a thing? Why is that even on the books? Pay that man and get him out of there. I don't understand it. I don't know why you would even pass up those 2 opportunities before the 5th round.
But I don't know. Hold on. But see, hold on, wait. Again, we gotta be fair. Because
we are being fair.
No,
you
the
only
call.
So much time on draft day in the 5th
I know,
round.
but hold on, T. The call may have happened in the 2nd or 3rd round, but they have. But Baltimore could have said, "Hey, if you still available in the 5th, we'll take you. We noticed you didn't go in the 1st." I see. I don't know what the call was, but let's just say Ozzie calls Prime in the 2nd round and say, "Listen, hey, coach, we noticed you ain't going in the 1st. We're in the 2nd round right now. If Shedeur is still sitting there in the 5th, we'll take him." And his mind said, well, nah, because we still got 3rd round is still open, 4th round is still open. And even if the 5th round, why would I want to go there and sit behind a Lamar? Why would I want to go to Philly and sit behind a Jalen Hurts right now, who's potentially got some time under their belt, when their thought process, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying their thought process could have been, well, we're looking to play early. We're looking to play, or at least compete for a job. I don't care how much we're going to compete. We're not going to beat out Lamar Jackson. I don't care how much we compete. We're not going to beat out Jalen Hurts. But we could beat out a 40-year-old Joe Flacco.
Okay, let me ask you this. Forget all that. If you was his agent, damn his father, not his father, if you his agent, and the Ravens, Ozzie Newsome call you and say, hey, man, what you think about Shedeur? Would Shedeur want to play for us? What you gonna say?
I'm all for it, me personally. But you got to remember,
as Shedeur as your client.
Yes,
correct.
But you have to remember this. Hold on. First of all, let's go back. You have to know the animal in which you're trying to tame. See, that's where y'all making a mistake. You guys are trying to tame the king of the jungle and put him in a cage. And he ain't having it. He gonna fight your teeth and nail. You understand me? Like, he ain't having it, T. Think about this. Your daddy, polarizing. He ain't prime time. He before his time, as he say. His son got that same aura and demeanor, right? Right? He an NFL talent. He is it is. He ain't Shiloh. He ain't Shiloh. Because if that was a Shiloh deal, they would have took that quick. But that's Shedeur. That's the baby boy. That's grown. And to say that I'm gonna go take a team, he bet on himself. And right now, the bet is not working out. However, if it did work out, a millionaire, like not millionaires, but you know what I'm saying, like winners. I'm not saying they aren't winners.
I got you.
But here's the flip though. It's not working out right now, right? It's not working out. And so, but if it did, it's like going for 2-point conversion or you kick the field goal. You kick the field goal to tie it, 2-point conversion to win it, right, T? Watch this. You ready? Check me out now, T. You ready? You sure? You kick the field goal, you tie it. You go for 2, you win it. You go for 2 and you miss it, you lose the ball game. You know what everybody and their mama gonna say?
Why you ain't kick the field goal?
Why you ain't kick the field goal? You an idiot. You had the sure thing right there, the field goal to tie it up. But you bet on yourself to get out the game. But watch this, T. You go for 2 and you make it and you win the ball game. What is everybody gonna say, T?
Man, that was the smartest thing ever.
That dude's a genius. Look at the play call. He got in his bag. Look how creative he is. He's an innovator. This guy's got a set of brass ones on him. He ain't scared, right? That's the risk you take. That is literally what you're talking about is the equivalent to a 2-point conversion versus a field goal. Tie it up or go for 2 to win it and get out this ball game and let's go home. And what they did, they went for 2 and they didn't convert. And right now, they paying the price. It's just what it is. That's the best way I can put it. Hopefully that makes sense.
But coach, come on, man. Like, see, I don't give him an out that way because I see that now you're doing the cult thing now.
No, I'm not. I'm not giving you a cult thing.
A cult member
if Shedeur Sanders,
enough players. Coach, you know enough players, and I only know a little bit of players that's been drafted. And the players that I know that's been drafted ain't get no multiple phone calls from teams like, hey, how you feel about playing for us? They didn't get that. They was on pins and needles on draft day. They didn't get that. I don't know, and you know way more than I do. You know you don't get those opportunities that way. Not with no winning organization. Multiple phone calls from 2 different organizations. That's good organizations ran from the right way. And you say, nah, I'm betting on myself. Nobody does that. You know that. I don't even know why you caping right now. Take that cape off, hang that thing up in the closet, and you stop it.
Yeah, but you're also not taking into account how many players of this caliber have a father of that caliber.
That's a fact. I'm not going to argue that.
So that's my point.
We ain't talking about his father, though. We talking about at that point in time, you a grown man. You making grown man decisions. Grown got on the phone and told them people what he told them.
So whose decision you think that was?
That was Shedeur's.
Okay. So he bet on himself.
He got on the phone. Remember, this story came out of Prime's mouth, man. We ain't going now.
Come on now.
We don't call him no lie, no other time. Prime said, I put him on the phone. I kind of know how the conversation went down, but I put him on the phone, baby, and he just said what he said. Yeah, all that.
What did he say?
Now you sitting behind Dillon Gabriel.
Okay. But again, what if this was prior to Dillon Gabriel being drafted, bro? That's my point. All your intel, I know, but all of your intel, Dillon Gabriel wasn't even on the board of being one of the top guys going. Let's just say this conversation happens in the 2nd round. What if he was supposed to go in Dillon Gabriel's spot and Dillon Gabriel was supposed to go in his spot? I'm just saying. So at that time, see, that's what I'm saying. Without all proper context, let's just say it's the 2nd round. They call. And it's open in the 3rd. It's open in the 3rd. It's sitting in the 3rd. And it's like, okay, we going into the third round. Cleveland need a quarterback. I don't know when they picked up. The Saints picked up somebody. Pittsburgh, all these people that needed quarterbacks.
Yeah, I knew it was funny business when they traded the spot to the Jags so they could pick up Travis Hunter.
All I'm telling you is,
Cleveland was smart enough to take Travis and then wait around to see if anybody was going to take Shedeur and take them both.
Sir,
I thought Cleveland was like, oh my God, I think they might have got it. They actually trying to win. My Ravens might actually be in trouble.
Hold up.
Nope.
Let me ask you a question, like T. I'm gonna slap your face because where did you make your mistake, T? Where did you make your mistake?
It's the Browns.
Nope. You thought right there. Slap your face. Right there. You thought it's now to your point. It is the Browns. When have they done anything logical, just within the scope of what football normally does?
They took Baker Mayfield first round. That was the best pick they took.
And guess what they did?
They fumbled it.
Exactly. Travis Hunter should be thanking the God above that they didn't pick him up. I'm telling you, Travis Hunter should be saying, in the words of Bernie Mac, thank you, Jesus. That's all I know.
I can't call it, man. But nobody passes up two opportunities like that, man, to roll the dice and see who's going to pick them up. And then you get there, they don't have a plan for you at all. And they know if you get in the game and it don't look right, that the whole coaching staff is fired.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with Ryan Daboll over in New York. He knew once he put Jackson Dart in, if this don't work, I'm cooked.
Mm-hmm.
But at least Jackson Dart had a better evaluation, at least to the NFL scouts, than Shedeur. So it was a safer bet for him, and it's panning out.
Where's he at?
New York.
Not as bad. Not as bad as Cleveland. Got a better talent around him. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
So see, this is the part. Now, put Jackson Dart at Cleveland. He don't look that great.
Not at all. Not in that offense.
This is what I'm telling you.
No.
This is what I'm saying. Shedeur, I hate to say this. I hope he don't play. This ain't got nothing to do with no eyebrows. I don't want him to go out there and look bad. And I think you got a very valid point.
At him and still pick him up again.
Huh?
I thought my Ravens was going to pick him up and going to try to make a pass at him and pick him up again, and try to get him out of there in the mid-season trade or something like that.
I don't know, dog. I don't know. But here's what I am about to do. I'm about to get up at you, and we're going to do something here, man. Tiger say, shout out to Go Tiger. What's up, baby? The Browns had Baker on the roster and cut him. The Browns cut Baker Mayfield. And look at this dude now. Bro, they tear. I feel sorry for Cleveland Brown fans. I feel sorry for people who grew up watching Jim Brown play, and they stuck with that franchise. I feel bad for them.
But you know what, though? But it's the nature of the beast in the NFL. When you get a young quarterback, if it don't work out, you're probably going to lose your job. You look at what happened with Caleb Williams. You look at what's happening right now with Cam Ward. His coach just got fired because you got to have a realistic plan.
But here's the deal. I don't care who you are. A quarterback is not going, if you're the number one the number one team drafting overall, getting a quarterback is not going to solve your problem. The reason you are number one of 32 teams to draft, because it goes by the worst team in the league. Right? It's not like a lotto where they pull your name out of a hat and you go first, you go second. You are the worst team, therefore you go first to try to make it even. I don't care
So
if you got Trevor Lawrence, who had not lost a football game since Jesus was a baby, right?
mhm.
He go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. What was his first year at Jacksonville Jaguars?
What year?
Yeah.
He been in the league what 3 years because he had Urban Meyer his
Urban Meyer was his
second
first year.
first year.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck, that was disgusting.
Hold on. He had Urban Meyer his first year, right?
I think so.
Trevor Lawrence been in the league since 21?
22,
21.
22.
21.
Okay.
They were 3-14.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he went there was because they were 1-15 the previous year. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Is that fair? His
Yeah.
first year, they went 3-14. The best they've ever been is 9-8, 9-8, 4-13. Now they 4-2. What I'm saying to people is just because you get you are the number one team to draft overall and you get the quarterback, very unlikely your team is going to be good because you need way more pieces than just a quarterback. You see what I'm saying? If you had everything else and you had Dan Orlovsky as your quarterback, you at least be middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
If you had all other pieces and you just need a quarterback, you at least a 500 team.
Well, Brock Purdy proved that.
I know, but you're a 500 team. When you are 1-15, that means you got a bunch of holes in your boat. You are literally the Titanic, dog. You going down. Thank you, Reggie. Shout out to Reggie in the back. Hey, Reggie, you killing me, dog, with them pictures. I love it, bro. Keep them coming. I love it. Shout out to Reggie in the Discord. The Titans, you got Cam Ward. They were so bad, he said, we ass. They asked him, hey, man, we ass right now if you want to keep it a buck. And he the number one draft pick overall. A Heisman candidate. What are we talking about?
Yeah. But I can tell you this, from watching the Browns so far, it don't matter if Shedeur was in there, bro.
Exactly.
That record would be the same.
I think it's the same because they have so many missing pieces. That's my whole point. The Cleveland Browns have so many missing pieces offensively. Shedeur can't fix those holes, bro.
Hell no.
No.
When your number one wide receiver not even looking for the ball and damn near get a concussion because it slapped him upside the damn head. That's your number one.
Yes, sir.
Mind you, for the people that really don't know football, real quick, the reason why the ball hit him in his head because where that pass was, if he would have put it in front of him, it would have got picked. He put it on him. Bruh, if he put it on you right in front of your face mask, all you got to do is turn. He gave you a touchdown. All you got to do is turn and fall forward.
Hey, bro.
Instead, you're thinking about what Instagram model you smashing.
Yeah, God.
While you running in a straight line going across the goddamn field like an idiot.
Hey, I don't know if I can be mad about that, boy. I'm worth a couple mil. Boy, which one I'm finna call for the game over, boy? Oh, yeah. Damn, my bad, Dillon. My bad.
Yeah, you got a black spot in your damn brain messing around.
So, I don't know, man. But T, guess what, baby?
What's up?
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Not like you, T. It's not like you.
Okay. I hear you.
All I can tell you is rah, rah, like a dungeon dragon. Check your little drawers because your pants are sagging.
Yeah.
Hey, all I know is this much, T.
Mm-hmm.
The last game of the season is going to be some smoke in the city.
Man, who can't wait? Nobody but me. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
We want all the smoke.
Listen, the thing is, y'all not gonna get no smoke except from them space heaters that y'all gonna have on that sideline. Because Pittsburgh in November ain't nothing to play with. So I advise y'all to make sure y'all getting a nice amount of hot tub, because when the hell do y'all come out of the state of Florida?
November 1st. November 1st, we go to Dallas. Miami go to Dallas. Play Dallas November 1st.
To play, y'all play SMU?
SMU in Dallas.
Bro, that is one of the worst college stadiums ever.
Here's what I know. I don't know much, but I'm gonna go in and put this up here on the screen because Coach getting whooped right now. The tie.
When y'all go to Dallas?
When
do y'all go to Dallas? When is that? Next month?
November 1st. November 1st.
Yeah. Yeah. God damn. Who scheduled that? How y'all do that?
Hey man, stay off us, man. We real G's. Here's what I'm gonna say right quick. As we close this out, we try to give love. Some of y'all see these crying. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that foolishness because that's tomorrow. I want you to call tomorrow. I got some real bacon for you, boy, because I want you to come to the kitchen. I want you to come to the kitchen. I got something for you. But here's what I'm gonna say to you. 120 y'all in the building. I appreciate it. We're gonna start giving love to our top fans. If you notice, some people in the building, they got these crowns in the thing. We're gonna go ahead and start giving them love, man. You get points based on how many comments and all this stuff. If you give super chats and this, that, and the third. Well, let's go ahead and add this up right now, man. Y'all clap it up. Kenneth Tongue, number 1. Heart of Sports, number 2. DC Carson Music, number 3. Amanda NBS, number 4. And Gmailings. I always get a Gmail CGS, number 5. Y'all clap it up for the top fans tonight with the most super chat. The most chats going back and forth. I appreciate you. Thank you. You guys kept the algorithm going. Mind you, everybody else get points too, but we just acknowledging the top 5. Let me see where that punk Genario at. He ain't even on here, man. Hating. Anyway, we're going with our top 5 right there. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Really makes the algorithm go and grow. And thank y'all so much. With all that being said, I'm about to get up out of here. Check us out tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for the Canes Talk Live. We got a lot to talk about. My Canes, they was off. And we actually going to be playing in 2 days, 19 hours, 38 minutes, and 24, 23, 22 seconds. T from Baltimore. We're going to show you how to pluck the feathers out of Cardinals. You understand me? We're going to show you how to pluck the feather out of a Cardinal.
Y'all better smoke them clowns.
What you
Y'all
mean?
better.
Last time we played them, I had a plate full of chicken wings. Hey, you know what's funny? I think the last time we played them fools, I got sick right after that, eating them Cardinal wings, man. I think I got sick last year. This is the God's on the truth. I was eating some Cardinal wings. I went out there and shot one of them little red Cardinals with my BB gun in the backyard. They be in the tree all the time. I fried them up real hard. I don't know if I got the worms out of them or not, but I ate that joke and end up in the hospital. I gotta see what's up. I don't know. But anyway, let me go ahead and get this thing. Let me go ahead and get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all as always. Thank everybody in the building for the much love, much fun. And I don't know what's going on right now. Oh, Amanda took over with the number 2 spot. I see her. See what happened? She came in at the very end and knocked some heads off. But we out of here. Peace. LV, love you, baby. I appreciate y'all as always. Hey, E. Brown, you still got 5 minutes in the bottom, boy. You shot all the way out, boy. You shot out. Man, we out of here. Peace. Hey, T, let me tell you something, T. You know what it is when you come to this kitchen, T? You know what it is going to be? Let me explain.
What it's gonna be?
I want you to hear this.
But just know, it get hot in that kitchen, boy, and everything may not work properly. But you still gotta cook. And guess what? People gonna be coming with plates out, and they gotta be fed. Whether you wanna go sit down and eat a plate yourself, and realize ain't nobody cook for you. You the chef, dog. Keep cooking.
Just gotta keep cooking.